even deeper pockets. Millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Wisconsin high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
I'm Doug Russell. Well, at least in the regular season, the Brewers have the Dodgers number.
To win it. Oh, Bowers ropes one into the gap. Churio on his horse. That's all the way to the wall. Churio around third. He's going to score. And Jake Bowers is red hot. It's an RBI double. It is 3-1 Milwaukee.
Brian Anderson on the call on Brewers TV. Jake Bowers with 4 hits. Jackson Churio had 3. The Brewers beat the Dodgers in Los Angeles 6-2. Milwaukee takes 3 of 4 in the series. The Brewers off today. They'll welcome in Seattle for 3 games starting tomorrow night. To football, it was a most welcome sight Sunday morning at Rainitzke Field. Tucker Kraft returning to team drills for the first time since tearing his ACL last November. The Packers will next have an open workout tomorrow at 10:30. Friday, it's preseason game number 2 at Denver. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Nobody wake up! Nobody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go corner, get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, deep puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Clock has struck 5 o'clock. It's time to get cutting and cracking. That's what we do here in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app, streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. I'm Drew Olson, joined by Mr. Bill Schmid.
Good morning, sir. How we feeling this morning? Let's ride.
Standing and Armin Sarian. The band is together again today, and what a glorious weekend we have to recap. Game balls and kicks to the balls. That can wait a little bit. How about them Brewers?
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Just up off the mat and calming down, just channeling their inner Jake Bowers. Not only the 4 hits yesterday. How about we just calm them out?
That's all it took.
Whether it was in the locker room or the fan base, it seems like it might have worked.
From the worst series of the season to arguably the best series of the season, all in 1 week. Brewers wrap up the death march. Day off today. They finally made it to the finish line.
Yes.
And they finished this series, this stretch of 17 games in 17 days, which included a kind of overlap. They had 2 West Coast,
2 West Coast runs. Yes.
Bookending it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were 10-7.
My goodness.
Amazing.
Now, they were 10-7. That doesn't sound that impressive. But a 10-7 with all the guys on the IL and with all the guys who are on 10-7 running Andrew Vaughn at third and Gary Sanchez at first, and guys that didn't even know anybody showing up and playing that day from other organizations parachuting in to start games. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, there was a Bay sighting, a Johnny Rockets
Bay?
sighting. I thought that was only in cafeterias in Vegas. And then apparently now he runs through and plays second base. And in the midst of it, you came into it or went through stretches of it with like a sub 200 Christian Yelich and William Contreras in the midst of it, right? Like Turan goes down in the midst. You get hopefully a woken up Contreras here at the end of it. And it wraps up a hell of a lot better than the 18 games in 17 days did, right? Now, there was a 4 games in 5 day series in St. Louis. You won 4 of those 5 in that run of 18 games in 17 days up until the All-Star break. But you almost didn't even get to enjoy that part of the meal because the dessert was so awful. All anybody could talk about on the way home and into the break was that 3-game sweep at Pittsburgh. And I don't know that anybody's remembering the San Diego swoon that happened because now everybody's just juiced up by the finish in LA. And guys, the Karma Bowl that was yesterday for Matt Arnold and the Milwaukee Brewers. Matt Arnold's got to be flexing, strutting into that office today.
Got to be feeling good.
Smiling. And maybe he just calls Scott Harris up with the Detroit Tigers and just says,
"You mad?
Sorry, bub. Sorry, bub. We knew it. We knew something. Didn't want to give up Logan Henderson. And then he has a career day against the man that they wouldn't trade him for. That was just dessert yesterday.
It's just amazing in this stretch. I mean, you really can't question what they've done at all. You really can't question him. He's always right. I mean, he basically doesn't miss in the front office. And it's remarkable the way those things work out. Remarkable the way this team always bounces back from adversity. Coming back off that San Diego series, guys, was obviously one of the toughest of the year. You're facing adversity in the face. Your lead is down to 3 or 4 at that point. And boom, you come back and take 3 or 4 against the Dodgers when you needed it the most. This team has defined themselves on it when they did it again, but not really just this year, over the last few years. I mean, when the foot slips a little bit, they always find a way to get back stronger up the hill. And it's just pretty amazing. And they did it again this weekend, 3 or 4. And it's amazing. You talk about erasing the memory of the San Diego series. It's amazing how different a 3 and 4 West Coast road trip looks after you win the 3 in LA and not if you swept San Diego and got swept by the Dodgers. It's just, we just love it. We love getting the better taste in our mouth coming back at the end of the series. So awesome performance. It started with Thursday, changing the momentum around that rally to win the game. It's one of those you're going to look back on and say that was quite a turning point for the year. Well, when you had to, extend the arm a little bit, and now you're at a 5-game lead. So awesome stuff.
The next big thing lurking is at the end of the month when they play the Cubs 7 times in 10 days.
Yeah.
National League Central Division Championship
But
Series.
folks who focus on that and freak out, again, the Brewers and Cubs are evenly matched. Let's just look at what the Brewers just did against the Padres. And, if you do that, if you go 3 and 4, not great, right? But you've lost a game.
I was going to say, but they'll pick up a game. Good luck with that one. Yes.
That's the thing. It's unless it's in theory, it's oh, great, we get to play them head to head. Well, you better win 6 games if you want to pick up.
Totally.
Yeah. And Drew, the other part of how this ended up being so big was what happened at Wrigley and the St. Louis Cardinals going in and taking care of some business for you where Mike Vasallo put it out yesterday. They started the run of 17 games in 17 days up 5.5 in the division. They finish it up 5 in the division.
So,
and
a half game with the Cubs playing their asses off.
Just dominating, rolling. And instead, you swipe 3 or 4 there. You change up the mathematics going into the back end. And you're right. That now it just continues to get more and more daunting as the Cubs, yes, can continue to breathe life into their division title hopes because of those head-to-heads. But you really got to be doing some work. And hard to say either one of these teams is light years better than anyone. I don't know that you can say any team right now in baseball is light years better than the Brewers, especially currently constructed. Dodgers will get healthy, but the Brewers will get healthy as well.
Dave Roberts sure doesn't think so. Some of his post-game stuff was interesting. We'll try and spin through that. But, I mean,
here's the thing, and this is what makes it impressive, is this was for, the season series against the Dodgers, which could end up being big.
You don't know. Yeah, it's
the Dodgers. And Dave Roberts admitted this. We wanted to win this game. They had their A lineup in on a Sunday. They had their ace that they went and traded for at the deadline. And the Boston Barrister, friend of the program, hit me up and he said, a showing like this against their A lineup with their ace on the mound, this may not be playoff baseball, but I feel better about this game than I did last season about the season series sweep last season.
Totally agree. Agree.
Yeah.
because last year it felt like and the sweep at Dodger Stadium, not like it was that you could laugh at it or anything or sneeze at it a year ago, but it did feel like you were facing off against Emmett Sheehan and a bunch of other random cats that were collecting their Dodger blue.
They were just
numbers.
biding their time, and
they're waiting for Glass now and Snell and everybody to roll. But now all those guys are coming back, right? Snell just pitched. Glasnell's doing rehab starts. You faced Yamamoto and Skubal in this run, and that's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
and Robleski, who you put on the IL, I
was going to say,
because he was their all-star this year.
He was their all-star,
and I mean they're forcing him into long relief.
You talked Drew about 10 out of 10 and 7. I think that's like a 95 win year if you do that over the course of a year. Like that's pretty impressive. That's baseball, right? Though I mean, you try and get those edges. So what an incredible weekend for the Brewers to bounce back. And you saw your guys showing up. I mean, obviously Bowers has continued his great year, transformational, but Miz, I mean, getting out of that rally in the fourth on Saturday night, when that was a tipping point right there. But that's the guy you want and you need to do those type of things. If you're going to be in a spot competing with a team like that where you hope to be this year, you need your best players to be their best. And that was a great example of that too. So all weekend you saw examples of that.
We want you to check in 5 o'clock clubbers, proud members of the 5 o'clock club. 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. You can react on the YouTube comments as well if you're streaming us, which we know many are.
Mary's in already. Good morning, fellas. Go Bruce. Sign Jake now.
Ooh, Mary, I love where your head's at. I did. Now that shows where the different small marketisms come to, because I looked at the Jake Bauers contract as to does he have time where they would be able to flip him in the offseason and be able to cash in on a career year from Jake Bauers? Well timed by the young man. Well timed going into a contract year to be able to have this kind of renaissance. He's making himself just barrels of cash for Barrelman Bauers over the last couple of months.
Oh yeah,
huh?
He's changing his life this year. Yes, no doubt.
He's walking himself into what you would assume would be a 2 to 3 year deal somewhere, and making legit money for a guy who has had to battle, scrape, and claw for everything he's gotten in the major leagues. It's incredible to see, and I did like him last night when he could have taken the victory lap with Sophia. It's like, I think everybody listened to you, Jake. I don't know that anybody listens to me. I don't know that anybody's listening to me, but I appreciate it. I just think we got to remember that we're a good baseball team and that we're pretty dang good. And now they get a day off in their own bed. When was the last time they had that? I think one of the last off days was Drew in LA, which again, worst cities to have an off day.
That was the family trip when they all went to
Disneyland, but now to be able to relax, kick your feet up, play with the kids, and then get back to ball tomorrow night. Perfect time for them to refocus with 30 some games left. I mean, it's getting late, and it's getting back to the closing mark. And then you almost forget about, because the last 2 games were so dang good and so sweet, they almost swiped Friday night too.
That's the thing.
They came damn close.
Yeah.
I mean, you wake up and look at that box score the next day and you're like, oh, okay, sweet. Nothing offensively. And then you go back and watch Diaz almost combust again on Friday night in the 9th inning. That would have been there's no knockout blows to anybody. That would have been a hard one to go back to if you're Dave Roberts night after a vote of confidence and he gives up a 2-run lead there. Perfect Brewer baseball throughout the 4 games out there in LA.
And you definitely wonder if it's going to make them think about Diaz and going forward. If you're in that situation, maybe in the playoffs, you believe you can get a guy like that and get his cage rattled a little bit. So that's important too, even though you don't get the win. So.
Missing Terang, missing Uribe, missing a bunch of dudes,
a lot of guys, and missing a lot of guys, even though they're playing their bats.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, and
a lot of guys aren't even hitting right now.
Lara's playing right now, but you forget Frelick was a starting player.
Right.
There's guys that it's been pretty incredible. I mean,
so it sounded like Frelick might be back coming up this week, potentially back on Tuesday.
Terang as well.
Now, so where did your nervousness go at all at any point throughout the week with Terang? Because when I hear the second opinion, Drew, and he totally could have batted tonight. Totally could have batted. But we're going to get a second opinion. I was wondering if we're worried if we have to go under some anesthesia and go under the knife with this thing, or if we can put it off for a couple of weeks, put it off for a couple of months.
Yeah. I mean, now they're saying he was out running and testing it out.
When I saw him doing the blocking sled, I'm like, that doesn't look like somebody with a torn meniscus. So I feel a lot better. They'll be very mum, and we might hear about it maybe if they do Brewers on Deck in February, right? Like if he does get it cleared up. But there were some moments there where I was wondering if you were going to see him again with that kind of news and that kind of conversation around the knee. That was a dicey conversation for a couple of days.
So the sweep by the Padres was basically like going and losing to Pittsburgh right before the break. That's what it felt like. And then to bounce back and get 3 out of 4, the whole thing swung with the Thursday night thriller.
Oh, big
that
time.
We watched at the end of Packers OT. And that like laid the groundwork. And you're right. They could have won Friday. Miz pitched Saturday. Then you better win when Miz pitches.
That's
then to win Sunday when, like I said, the Dodgers were rolling their A game out there. Their ace pitcher, Roberts, they were playing to win. They wanted to win. They kicked it around a little bit. Brewers took advantage. And it's like, I happened to be at State Fair yesterday. And
let's go.
Within earshot of the Bud Pavilion, was able to hear the
little bit of a roar of the crowd.
Roar of the crowd, yeah. As people were enjoying it. I was there before all hell broke loose and there were fights and a cop got punched apparently.
Whoa, what?
Last evening. Yeah. Well,
I was hoping that
Damn, what are we doing?
Last night at the fair, it's tradition unlike any other.
People mad they didn't get 6 of the salsa makers.
At least the mayor didn't get punched in the face and stuff like that.
Well,
that
it must be
that's true.
When they give the awards out to the cows that last day and they judge the
Yeah,
best
oh, yeah,
cows.
that's
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
what gets people fired up. You know what I mean?
Well, I was at one of the cow auctions earlier in the fair.
Oh, yeah, that was the governor's auction.
They're awesome.
You talk about big money, they get some big
That
money.
was impressive stuff. And like the gambler in me was very much having fun. When
Into
those
the
kind of
auction.
numbers are being thrown around, I was having a lot of fun as a spectator.
I just like that to know that those guys are good enough to look at an animal like that and say, that's going to be where we get that rump roast, that nice ribeye, that, the short loin. They know where the meat's going to come from. So I'm pretty impressed by that. But yeah, Billy, it gets wild.
I thought the ribbies were only coming from Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, he's the man. It's best OPS in the NL over the last 6 weeks.
I just think about the players that are in that.
That's amazing.
Like Jordan Walker, who just had 3 extra base hits yesterday.
Yeah.
All the guys in this Dodger lineup that went through.
We're talking about Joey Ortiz.
We're talking about Joey Ortiz, an 8 or a 9 hole hitter in there. And last year, Drew, we had a lot of fun towards the end of the NLCS in the midst of our copes. Armin and I did no BS of going through the Dodger lineup and thinking, well, that guy would be the highest paid player on the Brewers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We got all the way down to Tommy Edman would have been the highest paid player on the Brewers. So seeing Tommy Edman boot potentially 2. Now, did they give that error to Betts? There was a weird situation. Brian Anderson was not a big fan of that ruling and scoring decision, but weird one flipped over. Edman probably could have caught it, but it was hot potatoed so weirdly from Betts. I think he ended up getting the error on it.
That was like the guy in the playground that would like whip it at your knees from 2 feet away and say, "Why did you catch it?
Why did you catch it, dude? Come on, it was right there."
Yeah, that was a tough one right there.
But the second one was right there, and Edman unable to get it with the infield playing in, just an absolute death nail right at the end. And I love to see their best guys, as you mentioned. They trot out their A lineup. They ran everybody out there, and the only one that had much to show for it was Pages. Huge moment from Aaron Ashby, though. Yesterday,
monster play
as he trots out to face Shohei Ohtani, and then they listed off Shohei Ohtani's resume against Aaron Ashby, like 5 of 9 or 5 of 7 in his career, 2 of 3 this year.
Yep.
You sure this is the matchup we're going to?
You're like,
wait, hold on, this is what we're wanting, and all of a sudden ground into a double play started by Johnny Rockets. That was impressive moment. And you could feel the wind get taken right out of that stadium with that at bat.
Yeah,
that was it.
If you think about that moment and then the Mizorowski one on Saturday night, like in the totality of the series, you're like, how many times can you play with fire with giving Ohtani a chance like that? Now, Miz, you're like, okay, Miz has a chance to strike anybody out, and he does. He gets him and Freeman back to back. But then with Ashby, and you're like, oh boy, here we go, because you're just hoping for the best in that situation. And he gets him to roll over like that, and you get the play. Wow, huge play. And I did like Ashby now is like sprinting everywhere to first. Like I know you guys saw that.
Yeah.
Like with a little sense of humor. I do like that as well. But it's a good reminder how big Ashby's been. I mean, he pitches so much that you have really good moments. A lot of times you also have some moments of struggle, and he's had that recently. But that was as big of a double play as you're going to see all year. So that was a monster play.
Yeah, Ashby learned his lesson. Hopefully he'll never have to worry about running the first base hard again.
And that's
Buckle
what we
Jake Powers over at first base with it.
That's what we need, a little self-improvement, self-awareness, and improving on that, you know?
That's right.
Well, and I also like Logan Henderson channeling his inner Miz. I'm going to get this ball. I'm not throwing this thing. I'm way too fired up. I'm stepping on that bag and running right to the shower.
What a job by him.
877-794-1973 is your ticket to get in. There are a couple people, and we're going to read through some texts. There are a couple people who are, again, who kind of predicted this. We were trying to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
Playing in the Dodgers, it's not a reason to just give up before you start. It's an opportunity. Great moments made from great opportunities. This has been a great season for the Brewers, and that was quite the roller coaster of a week. They get a day off to reflect. A couple of, you think winnable series. Again, don't take anything for granted.
I was going to say, we
keep rolling. Just keep rolling. Just keep checking boxes until you can get to where you want to be, which is, again, entering the playoffs as a top 2 seed. That's the mission. We will talk about that. Holding off the Cubs, sweet to do that on the way. But the mission is get one of those top 2 seeds and then let the rest take care of itself. We're off and running. We're cutting and cracking on a Monday edition. We've got game balls and kicks firing up after 7. No Dolph today, so we'll have to improvise at halftime. We'll get through it.
Cleaning out.
No Hunter either. He's off as well, but he'll be back in the fold.
Could you imagine that vacation of Hunter's and the family break? Is he's all excited and everyone's like, "Hey Hunter, could we do something and not watch the Brewers here?" Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on. Hey, hold on.
It's loaded with 1 out in the 6th inning. Okay.
Hang on. All right. We're cutting and cracking. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
And then hung on to win it. Oh, Bowers ropes one into the gap. Churio on his horse. That's all the way to the wall. Churio around third. He's going to score. And Jake Bowers is red hot. It's an RBI double. It is 3-1 Milwaukee. 70 for Bowers, the club leader. Now Vaughn smokes one through base hit. They're going to wind up Bowers. Here he comes. Hernandez throw is on a hop. The tag, not in time. Bowers with a great slide.
Rake Bowers, the star of the weekend for the Brewers, who win 3 of 4 against the Dodgers. If you predicted that, if you urged positivity in the wake of that deflating series loss in San Diego, today's your chance to bebop and scat, to peacock around. Tell people how smart you are. 5 o'clock clubbers, 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Brewers, obviously, the main focus. Packers had a live tackle football practice. There's some developments there. We got word from Keyshawn Nixon. Feels like he's being punished.
A little punishment.
About that. But obviously, Brewers are front of mind right now as they have their first day off in nearly 3 weeks, and 2.5 for sure. And I don't think that this weekend changed my opinion of the Brewers. I've always thought they were a good club, but folks were flagging and the Cubs were rolling. And I've had people asking me, when do you get nervous about the Cubs? I'm like, you got 40 games left. Are you nervous about them every day, or you're not nervous at all?
That's a good point.
Right? It's like you're
either in or you're out on it. Yep, I like that.
It is what it is. It's like you can't control what they do. You can control what you do, and you can, if you want to scoreboard and watch, and you feel better at 5 games. Like, what does the lead have? What does it have to be going into that Cubs series? And we're now 2 weeks away from Brewers and Cubs playing 7 games in 10 days. And like I said, it's very likely going to be 4-3, 3-4.
Say one game either way.
Maybe one team wins 5 if they're really on a heater. But for the most part, they're evenly matched, and I just see it being, give and take, win one, lose one. And if that's the case, the Cubs aren't picking up that much ground. So that's an opportunity for them, but it's not any reason to panic in my mind.
No, this is also the fun part. This is the part that makes it so much fun, is getting the Brewers game to start at 3:15 yesterday, and at 2 o'clock on whatever it was, ABC, Cubs and Cardinals, and getting to cheer the heck out of yourself against that other team. You got like 3 or 4 different teams to watch for where the pennant race is. And I don't know that there's necessarily a numerical number on it, Drew. You just want to see the team playing their best, and they've been playing so far from their best version, at least offensively, over the last 2 months, 3 months, seemingly. But the pitching is so impressive. The young pitching has been just dynamite. Their bullpen this month has been lights out, best in baseball, almost every number. So that part of it, the scars for the opposite side, for the Cubs from 2018, I think it was 5.5 going into September. Any number can be made up, no doubt about it. But if you're sitting here at 5 games, I don't see any team sweeping the other, and I don't see only one side getting 1 win in that 7-game series. So I think now you're going to come out of it with the lead. You just got to be playing better. And to see William Contreras have the kind of day that he had after even the defensive blip, what was that, Tuesday night in San Diego when he dropped the ball coming in?
Yeah.
Like there have been too many moments where he has just not looked like the leader and the MVP for back-to-back seasons of your team offensively, and desperately need to have him looking somewhat like yourself. So it's not necessarily a number to me. It's more about how they're rolling, and their vibes were brutal there for a second.
And as I've said ad nauseum, and I've learned this over all these years of watching ball, if you're a good team, at your baseline, you're 500, right? And this Brewers were 10-7 in this 17-game stretch, which is better than 500.
Yeah,
better than that. So you're at your worst, you're 500. So if you get to a situation where, let's say there's 30 games left, and you have a 5-game lead.
Oh yeah,
it seems like, well, that's a lot of time to make it up. Okay, but if you play 15-15 in those 5 games, in order to make it up, that other team, it's on them that they have to play really well.
Yeah.
They have to basically go like 21-9.
21-9, 20-10 to tie.
Yeah, 21-9.
Exactly.
So the math is the math. And that's, people lose track of that too. Cause it's like, it seems like, well, depending on where you are, if you're 5 games back, it seems like you're within an eyelash of it.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're 5 games ahead, you're hanging on for dear life, but that's not insignificant. even 2.5 games when you're not playing head to head
Sure.
is not insignificant, right? It's like it, and if you stay the course and be 500, or just play better than 500, play at the pace the Brewers are as they were in the 17 games.
Yeah, and I think we always focus, and maybe because recently we've been in first place a lot, which is a good thing, but we focus so much on the pressure a team will put on the team that's leading the division, right, or the lead horse. Like we talk about the pressure you put on from a team like the Cubs, who were hot for a long time, and keeping the pressure on the Brewers. But I think it's underestimated a lot, the pressure you can put on a team chasing you if you continue to win in that stretch. And the Cubs have played so well now for so long and have not been able to really, they got close, right? They got to 3, now it's back to 5. Have not been able to break through that close, that meaningfully close to the Brewers because they've played so well. And I think that wears down the team chasing you as well. And I think we saw a little bit of it this weekend with the Cubs and how they let a couple big ones go against the Cardinals. You know, you work that long to try and catch up to a team. You play that well for that long. And if you don't see the fruits of your labor, sometimes it can energize the team that you're chasing. And I think we saw that a little bit this weekend. Hopefully that continues. I also have to give the Cardinals a little credit. They're in a wild card race as well, so they're trying to fight for a wild card spot.
Oh, I thought they had packed it in. I thought they were ready set Cabo a couple of weeks ago, and then they get a kid to come up here and hit 3 home runs in his major league debut.
Yeah, that's pretty good if you can do that.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that every day,
3 home runs in his major league.
Good.
Was he playing on rookie mode?
Yeah, good game, son. I mean, keep doing that.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was incredible.
I guess the regression to the mean, Drew. He didn't even hit a homer yesterday.
Yeah, how terrible.
Guy must suck.
That's just something else.
He had a 4 home run game in the minors.
Another good day.
What? The only thing is I'm watching and they're telling Boog Shambi and David Ross and the whole ESPN crew are telling you about him as he walks up into the batter's box. First off, strapping lad, forearms like Popeye, just yoked up.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
And I couldn't imagine what Brewers Twitter would be doing if this kid was hitting 4 home run games down in AAA and your offense is struggling at the big leagues. Could you imagine how satisfied you'd be as one of those fans that had been beating the drum for 4 months for him finally to come up and he just rakes like that?
I'd say I agree with you, but I would say that except Andrew Fisher's doing similar things down there. He had another home, but yeah, you're right. I mean,
so to your point, you'd almost want Andrew Fisher to come up and go like 2 for 20 when he first goes to calm down some of the excitement.
Well, I did note
Jackson Churio treatment.
Yeah, I did note earlier this year, like this has been a unique year in that the Brewers have been in first all year, but we've talked so much about the guys coming up like Cooper and Lara. But yeah, who's next? Yeah, that would be pretty funny. But could you imagine Brewers fans would be like, get this guy on the big league roster. We need these home runs now. You're absolutely right, Billy. It would be pretty funny. And they're always, I mean, listen, we're talking about Brewers fans. All right, this team's already won 77 games. And I still saw some tweets complaining about how certain guys aren't hitting. And like, I get it. Like, we want everybody to be perfect. I get it. But it's like, now you're like, we need Ortiz every day. I'm like, well, you were probably the guy a month ago that wanted him off the team.
That's just it. And that's where, again, Contreras and Yelich will get hot again. And it's like, you know,
or at least better.
You can't fathom it now, but
at least better.
Because at what point could you have, you know, like you said, Armin, go back in the Wayback Machine and 6-8 weeks ago, you're pining for Joey Ortiz to get more at bats.
Oh God, I mean,
and
exactly.
move up in the lineup. Like, on what universe is that possible? Baseball.
But it's a great reminder: never give up on a guy.
Yeah, and then I mean, in the month of July, Garrett Mitchell is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and now he can't hit 100.
Yep, August he's off. It's a game of streaks. That's just how it goes.
And it's impressive when you have enough guys that are able to make up for both of them, right? And like that, those guys being able to fly under the radar. Vaughn over at third base has been more impressive than I would have thought. Like, just calm, and saw Kurt Hogue yesterday. Even they're trying some other little maturations. Christian Yelich doing some first base ground balls over there.
Hey, now
they got to find some way to move dudes around, because Gary Sanchez, I don't know if you caught that on Saturday night when Murph said, yeah, I think he's kind of done playing first base. And then we tried it out in the 5th inning with his shin guard on. I think he's probably ready to get off of that glove.
Yeah, that ball, a couple ate him up. I mean, that's true. But the Brewers have had to do this patchwork thing.
It's been crazy.
They've won in spite of anything thrown in their face.
You put your best setup guy on the IL. You're playing without your double play combination.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting shortstop and second baseman shelved. They're like, holy cow.
ESPN did the top ranking of the top 50 players, like updated last week. Miz came in like 3 or 4 in the big leagues, and Bryce Strang was the 16th ranked player in Major League Baseball. You just played that whole series without him, right? Like, so
that's about right. Yeah.
And you're right. So he's your best offensive player, been your best weapon all year long, and you're playing without him with some real question in there, and just bringing random guys off people's AAA clubs, Drew, to come and play for you.
That is the thing. Like bringing in Bay, and then like not only do they come in, they walk right into the starting lineup, and they don't even know who everybody is. And they're shaking hands with guys in the dugout, don't even know who they are.
Hey, welcome to big leagues, kid. You're facing Tarek Skubal today. Good luck.
Unreal.
It is crazy. We got one on the NickLayLaw.com talking text line. The texts are rolling in. Some YouTube comments as well. I'm waiting for Rhonda to get up and take her victory lap.
Rhonda did already.
She hit it in last night. She fired us in last night.
Yeah, go back a little bit.
Come on, baby, go Brewers.
She hit us up.
Help me, Rhonda.
She said the negative Nellies can go pound sand. Rhonda in the 715. Also, some good pick plays at Packers camp Sunday. Great seeing Tucker Kraft back catching passes. We'll be talking about that coming up a little bit later. But yeah, Rhonda got in there last night. Right. I think right as the final out was recorded.
Awesome, love that. And we got Steve. This is Steve. Morning, guys. Hey, it's not just winning the division and having the best record, but we need to be playing our best ball going into the playoffs. So we don't want to just get in there. Playing like we've been playing the last 3 weeks, we got to get some things straightened out here in the month of September. And I think we could get a Go Brewers. Well, I'll get a Go Brewers right now. But playing your best ball is a subjective thing. It's kind of like the eye test. But they got 77 wins, so they're doing something right. Now, I understand that we got some guys that need to start hitting a little bit. There's no question about that. I think it's a good sign, though, that you're winning in spite of it. I mean, those guys are going to – you talk about regression in the mean. Well, the mean's up right now from a lot of those guys. Mitchell, Contreras, and those guys, obviously. So I'd like to think that they got some runs coming, and if you're winning in spite of it, that's pretty good.
Get your slump out of the way now.
Yeah.
This is Steve was one of the guys. Now, I think he might have predicted that the Brewers sweep LA, but he was predicting that they were going to go in there and handle the Dodgers earlier last week. Drew, like you said, Brewers fans, every once in a while, we are right every once in a while. You got to celebrate it a little bit. We definitely let you guys know when we are, so let us know here at 877-794-1973.
Absolutely. All right. Brewers get day off, and then who are they playing on Tuesday? Does it matter?
Seattle Mariners
in town.
What is Cal Raleigh hitting? $140 now?
Oh, I think one of the under-discussed stories all in baseball this year is how big of a drop-off he's had.
Absolutely.
I don't know how you explain stuff like that. I mean,
a seismic drop, just crazy.
158 with a 568 OPS.
And there's a guy that everybody said should have been the MVP last year.
Nice.
And maybe, his numbers. How can you dominate a league so much? And this is a crazy game, though.
Wild
results are never like promised. It's always nonlinear. Like get over it. Yeah,
it's just like I said, if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you got to go. You got a chance to go to Cooperstown.
Negative 0.4 more this year, and he had a 7.2 last year.
All right, start formulating your game balls and kicks. It should be a robust one. Maybe some State Fair themed game balls.
Got a couple of those
going to State Fair. Yeah. Yes, indeed. We might have to. We'll spin through some of those. Can't wait to get to the game balls and kicks. We will talk Packers. We got the word from Keyshawn Nixon. He's both positive and also at the same time
strikingly negative.
He's a conundrum, that guy. We'll talk about Keyshawn as we move forward. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Bill, and Armin huddled up on a Monday in the good land. Reach us 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talking text line. About to be popping with your game balls and kicks. Fire those in if you got them. We'll take them early. We'll take them often. You don't have to wait until 6 o'clock for it. But we
line them up, baby.
Encourage the 5 o'clock clubbers just to say, hey, let us check in. Love to hear from you. Love to know that you're up and around on this Monday. Again, a little spring in your step after the Brewers took 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers. I maintain my stance with the Brewers. Like, you look at the past week, they can beat anybody. They can lose to anybody, but they can beat anybody. And for all of our obsession with the Cubs and Dodgers, I mean, the Padres, the Braves, the Phillies, they're all good.
Yeah, and they're showcasing it at the bottom end of that wild card race.
They all have things that, like, I don't want to face those Phillies first two.
No, I'd really
say what you want about Miz and May and Logan Henderson. Those guys are good too. Zach Wheeler and Carlos, like,
we just saw how good the Padres were.
Padres phenomenal. They're
Padres are so hot right now that you worry about them regressing in the
their lineup is so stacked, and I still think one of the best dark horses in the team that you definitely don't want to face towards the end of it would be Arizona, because of the arms they're getting back. Like, they're going to get Burns back here right for the stretch run. They get Zach Allen back for the stretch run. And they've been hot over the last month and a half as they've climbed back into it. So no one's going to be easy. It's never going to be easy getting home. But the Dodgers have been the one that stood in your way at the end, both of the last times you've gotten close enough, right? The last two NLCSs, and I know they keep throwing in the 2020 playoff. I think the Brewers were under 500 when they made that 60-game playoff, and nobody anticipated they were going to do anything in that run to the title for the Dodgers. But 3 and whatever it is, 8 years, they're the one that you still will look at. I'm fascinated to see how much longer they're in this funk, because they are going to break out of this, right? Like that offense is going to break out of it. They've been kind of inconsistent, for Dave Roberts said, for the last 4 to 6 weeks.
But they're too good, man.
Team that's been really rolling, though, is Atlanta. And they've got, you don't really think about how many power bats they have in that lineup until you see them. We'll see them at the end of the weekend. But that lineup is pretty dense as well. And they get to throw Chris Sale at you, right? So, like, the amount of Cy Young winners in this playoffs on the National League is hilarious.
There's so much talent in the National League in the playoffs. And meanwhile, in the American League, the current last qualifier in the wild card is sub 500. The Orioles are 61 and 63. That's never happened in baseball except for the COVID year, where there's been a sub 500 playoff team. I don't know if it really can happen, but we'll see. I mean, if it started today, it would. So it's kind of, the imbalance has been interesting this year, the leagues. Right now, the NL's definitely dominant, but hey, all the more reason, like you said, to try and achieve that first round bye if you can, so you can avoid one of these teams, because you mentioned it. Chris Sale, you got Wheeler, you got all these guys, Sanchez. You don't want to be facing these guys if you don't have to.
No. But again, champions fear no one. Brewers can beat anybody, as we just seen, and they could lose to anybody. That's playoffs, man.
And the losing to anybody, though, like, where my mind first goes, Drew, is like, yeah, they can lose to the Pirates and the Giants and the Nationals. Luckily, you won't see any of those teams, right? Like the frustrations of, you can't beat the bad teams. Well, you don't see any of those. You see the good teams that they maybe rise to the occasion to face. You could tell the energy in that dugout was electric yesterday. And I don't know how much of it was knowing that the off day was at the back end of it, getting some wind back into the sails. But the team wins when Logan Henderson pitches. What are they now, 13-3 in his 16 starts?
Yes.
Like, there's and that's not a nothing burger. He is a fascinating dude to watch on the mound. I loved Kurt Hoag's video of him going out and Mac Hollinsing it, barefoot up on the mound and going through his progressions. Untouchable at all costs now. Logan Henderson's starting to get there for me. I want to protect the guy as well, if that's going to be the human that he's rocking, and for the pitcher that he's going to ultimately.
He has yet to allow more than 3 runs, right?
Yes, and he's setting. I think he's set an MLB record on that one. I'm trying to find the actual stat that I did read, but first to not allow that many runs and how many appearances in MLB history or something like that. I'll try and effort that, guys. But it's been remarkable to see him. And when you start thinking about playoff rotations, maybe it's a little early for that, but I don't think it is. You start wondering, is he shoehorned himself into a definite has to start in the playoffs if he keeps pitching like this? When you think about, May, obviously, and what Harrison does, you can have some options there.
Well, and Kyle Harrison might be doing himself in the Brewers' favor and taking him right out of there.
Yeah,
right. Like the last couple of months,
right.
you see the fastball usage and the dip in velocity. Maybe Kyle Harrison goes out, and you got other options as to who can be in there. Because again, I know he's only pitched 2 games for the Brewers. I want more of Dustin May in the playoffs.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like I want that fiery competitor, and they traded the prospects to have him. One of these guys is going to get pushed into the bullpen. There's going to be multiple, right? Because Drowan's going to go in at the end of this next cycle, and 1 to 2 more of these guys will. Henderson's probably close to his most innings he's ever thrown for a guy that's had a lot of injuries.
Creeping up for sure. Meanwhile, headline at the New York Post.
Oh, I love this.
Paul Skeens start pushed back after velocity concerns and showing off dad bod on Miami Beach trip with Livy Dunn.
Am I the only one that didn't think it looked bad? I did not think he looked that big. I don't know what everyone is talking about. I'm like, that's a problem. I'm in big trouble.
People want we want our multi-million-dollar stars to be,
Do they think he's going to look like DK Metcalf?
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, he's not an MMA fighter. He's a pitcher.
I know. Starting pitcher especially. Come on.
Well, it's also tough when
when
Livy Dunn is rocking abs that people pay for.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, that's the tough thing. It's who you're standing next to.
That's very true. Yeah, she is. She raises the bar.
She ripped up, and I don't know anybody was looking at the LSU hat that she was rocking. But to see that as your comparison, it's gonna be a tough deal, Paul. You're gonna have to take a lot of this heat, or you're gonna start having to pump heat again. And I don't know that he's doing it this year.
Yeah, but it's not like he's Jim Tomey out there walking out of the corn looking like 3 of them. He's just looking at the man. That guy's.
Did Jim Tomey know he could have unbuttoned the jersey?
Could have done it. You could have just gone open there, and
it might have been a better idea.
I don't know. Man, that was something.
There were a couple of players though. They're in the Field of Dreams that did take that idea. Drew, just leave the thing open. It's all good. Let it flow. Get a little breeze.
Ken Griffey Jr. is looking thick these days, and that's
right. You never thought you'd see the kid look like we're getting old.
Well, the back was a little sore. Got to have a little bit of padding around it.
Paul K. The YouTube comments. Good morning, guys. I was hoping the Brewers were to win 1 or 2 against the Padres, but I believe we would win 3 against the Dodgers. So carrying all right, taking the lap. Just focus on winning 1 game at a time. Absolutely. All right, boss.
And it was more important to win 3 or 4 from the Dodgers than avoiding the say they win the getaway game in San Diego and then go 2-2. Same number,
but
not the same result.
It feels
different. It feels like more wind in your sails. Beating the Dodgers. There's all the waxy buildup from last year.
Just like Thursday night, that game could have happened against anybody else, and it wouldn't have felt as big as it did winning it and come back in Chavez Ravine. 3 or 4 just feels different against the Dodgers. And again, maybe it doesn't come down to it. Maybe it ultimately doesn't matter. But if this thing and both teams end up at 99 wins and they got to come and play game 7 at your place because of the win of the season series, it matters somewhat.
Yeah, definitely matters.
Really quick, Dobler. What's up, Dobler? Never change. With a healthy Lockridge, and when Freelick is ready, then move that loser Garrett Mitchell to the minors permanently. He was lucky the Lockridge injury gave him more playing time. Never change, Dobler.
Yeah. Just hate our good players.
Jeez.
How happy does that make you to be able to read?
Interesting compulsion.
You're spotting all of these out, and the one negative one, Armin is making sure that he can feast on and jump on there.
I'm reading our text. That's all.
That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Keep them coming. We're about to fire up game balls and kicks. 877-794-1973. NicolayLaw.com talking text line going to be popping. Open for robust discussions today, and there will be some Packers talk as we move forward as well. They don't play until Friday night in Denver. We got plenty to talk about from the weekend. And Tucker Kraft is back.
Thank God.
And we'll be back. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers haven't fared well against the Dodgers in the month of October, historically. But before the postseason starts, well, that's a whole other story.
He's a club leader. Now Vaughn smokes one through base hit. They're going to wind up Bowers. Here he comes. Hernandez throw is on a hop. The tag, not in time. Bowers with a great slide.
Brian Anderson on the call on Brewers TV. Logan Henderson outduels Tarek Skubal, although Skubal did pitch well. Henderson scattering 3 hits and 1 run over 7 innings, striking out 6 and walking 1. The Brewers beat the Dodgers 6-2 in Los Angeles. The Crew idled tonight. The Mariners are in town for 3 starting tomorrow. To football, the Badgers continue training camp ahead of their season opener on September 6th against Notre Dame at Lambeau Field. And the Packers will next have an open to the public workout tomorrow. On Sunday, Tucker Kraft did team drills for the first time since he tore his ACL last November. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill Earp for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball got to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get out now and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God, this man's been out all night.
Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
August 17th, woke up this morning with a 5-game lead, first place in both the division and in the league.
What a beautiful.
How about that?
A little early for it, isn't it?
No, not when you're 5 up.
That sounded delicious.
Wow, let's ride.
Oh, it could have been.
Can't drink all day. You don't start in the morning.
Could have been a Sharps. I'm not saying it had to be, a strong one early in the morning, but you can open it up. Could have been
it could have been a Diet Dew or Dr. Pepper.
Now, Dr. Dew or Diet Dew, Dr. Pepper would be better. If you walk by and somebody's tapping a Sharps 6 in the morning,
oh, bro,
that's a really impressive move.
They're still making Sharps. I know Coors Edge is out there. Maybe they're trying to ship the
Heineken
market.
Zero is the one that most of my most of my friends who don't drink, they'll have.
I want Drew to know that I did grab a case of the or a pack, I should say. I don't know, a full case of the 30 rack of the Athletico.
Yeah.
That one's coming up.
The non-alcoholic beer.
The Athletic one is coming with us to Michigan for the UP when we go for the golf trip for the bachelor party coming up next weekend.
Right.
So I figured
get that spacer. Do you have?
I was going to say there needs to be a spacer in there every once in a while.
Did you get the
right?
lime one? That's the one that's really good.
That was the one you told me about.
Yep.
So I looked at like 4 of them, had no clue which one. I just grabbed the lime, put it right in the cart.
You're going to like it.
I'm always curious to know if they're ever going to have NA beers in Armenia. I think if you try and order one of those, they're going to give you a side eye. But I don't think they
walk you straight out.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. I was excited this weekend to have an Armenian beer because I was at one of the Armenian picnics in Illinois, but they didn't have it. And I was
how many kebabs did we have?
Oh, great!
How
great
much
baklava.
baklava?
Let me tell you, if the grill's dirty, the kebab's good. Okay, delicious. It was tough, right? Because I was kind of trying to follow the game yesterday. And, it was in the middle of chasing my daughter into a bounce house because she was sprinting right toward it. I had a shish kebab in my hand. And 4 guys wearing Adidas tracksuits. It's the true Armenian experience.
True Armenian experience.
It was
thick
good,
smell of cologne, some
good
gold
weekend.
chains.
Good weekend. You can't beat it.
Kebabs on the grill.
Kardashian-sized booties.
Oh, 100% have to. Yes, sir. Please.
Oh, well, no pause on that one.
Yes. Hey!
But you can get Armenian beer in some areas in Chicago. That's where I usually go and get my shipment. I was a little disappointed not to go in this year, but
you get a shipment of Armenian beer?
Well, no, not like a shipment, but like
buy a case when you're there.
I'm
glad you
by the
followed
box. Yeah, by the case. Yeah, when you get a chance.
So that's your version of when people drive up to New Glarus and grab some spotted cow?
It's my version. It's the same thing. Instead of going to Wisconsin and spotted cow.
We got to cheers one of these Armenian beers.
How about it?
Get some go time. I'll bring some in. I probably, you can now that you can get it within. I
don't want to
radius.
As long
rip
as we
into your
got
stash though.
No,
As long
don't
as we
worry.
got some baklava to go with it.
Yes,
that's
100%.
better than a glazer.
My dad drinks it faster than me. He goes, "How many do you have left? Come bring some over." Okay, fine.
All right, yeah, come on. Let's catch a clip, Pops.
Why
Let's
not?
go.
Let's pop one open. Yeah,
Nothing better than when my Gramps, rest in peace, Harry would call my dad, Bill, you better bring some more beer over. I think we're all out.
That's awesome.
Okay, sounds good, Dad. I'll be over there.
Be over.
Now,
I was just over there 2 days ago. How did you finish that 30 rack already?
Now, we also had one of my favorite experiences, as you know, Billy. We had the neighborhood. It wasn't like a block party, but someone in the neighborhood had a party.
Oh, you've been jonesing for this.
And when you get the word, you get the word in the text that it's Miller products courtesy of so-and-so. Because if someone works for Miller,
employee beer,
you're always going to have that great employee
always
beer,
have the great, they get a couple
talking
cases
about.
a week
Right,
or whatever. Yeah. Employee
Which
beer,
means that, which I like, because they get the cases, and I don't feel the guilt of being like, man, I'm drinking all this guy's beer. I don't feel the guilt. You know what I mean? So, all right, thanks, guys.
I almost just take it as a victory lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
See how many of these I can fill up into the recycling bin. We'll say thanks at the end of it.
I don't know what the perk is now, but it used to be pretty good. Like
I was going to say, it
used to be two. I thought it was 2 cases a month.
2 cases a month. That sounds about right.
Which I don't know if that's true anymore.
Well, and then back in the day, I mean, again, this is back when my Gramps was working in the breweries. We'll just grab what you could get. Take whatever's
out there.
Take whatever's out there and go in and grab. But that employee benefit is beautiful. I do also like that they put it with a courtesy of. Hey, just so you know,
let's
make sure you give a thank you.
Who do we thank here? Who do we thank?
Make sure you go over and shake this man's hand for bringing all the beer.
Mm-hmm.
Smart place.
It is nice. Your grandpa was working breweries, Billy. That's kind of cool.
Big one. Oh,
that's
yeah.
Great.
That's
great.
A lot of Pabst neon signs for my Gramps.
Let's go.
40 some years there.
Oh
yeah, 100%.
That is awesome.
Apparently, it was 3 cases a month.
Listen, you live in large
I'm
back
looking
then.
online. How about that?
Man, just break that down because we're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Case means 30, correct?
Or at least 24.
You go just about anywhere else, case means 24. I think a case, I'm grabbing a 30 rack, right? Like that's how it's always been into my mind.
Rack.
But you think about the 36.
Well,
now we're really talking. That's the real play.
Did they used to make the 30 packs back then? I don't know.
Wisconsin's one of the only places you find 30 packs. Like
Yeah,
you go to
that's true.
Florida, there are no 30 racks, which makes me kind of sad because that's the box to grab.
That's true.
That one feels
All right.
better in the hand.
The Costco thing reminds me of my first chambered up game ball or kick to the balls. Let's get it going.
Great
Game balls
work.
and kicks to the balls, a Monday tradition in the huddle. We recap things that happened over the weekend. It can be pop culture. It can be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be necessarily just sports. But if you want to give someone a game ball for a job well done, today in the huddle, Armin has picked this as your soundbite.
Jake Rakes.
Jake Rakes.
Simple, self-explanatory, right?
Chill the bleep out, Jake Rakes. Meanwhile, if you want to give someone a kick to the huevos, refocus them a little bit, put them on double secret probation, kick to the balls is this.
I hope it doesn't, come back to bite us.
Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts. Hope it doesn't come back to bite us, losing to the Brew Crew. There you go.
Smile.
Game balls and kicks to the balls. And I want to give a game ball to my friend Max, who came up with the line of the day yesterday at State Fair.
Ooh.
He had never been to the Wisconsin State Fair, and he was strolling around, and we strolled through the expo hall. I want to see the salsa guy.
Yeah, exactly.
The best.
Front and center for
Yes.
the salsa guy, making the salsa with the chopper, the mops and stuff. And after about 5 minutes, Max observed, this is like a Costco on meth.
Jake Rakes.
That's funny.
Well
I've been looking for a great way to describe the expo hall and that is it.
Yes, 100%.
Hot tubs here, tarot readings here, sporting goods, Admirals. I saw friends at the Admirals. They were
tickets because now at Costco you'll see that little piece of cardboard. Hey man, buy 2 Brewers tickets.
That's right.
Get anything you want there.
And the thing about it is, not only do you have at Costco, you get the free samples, you have the items. Not only do you have the items, you have the guys that are marketing them. The hype man, I call them they're legit broadcasters. At this
they're
point.
up all day on the mic. Yeah, crazy.
I walk by with my 2 cases of water now at Costco, and the guy goes, "Hey man, let me tell you about how we can make this a little easier for you, brother." I appreciate it. I heard this deal about 800 times. So that is a great way of saying it. The other thing is, that the best value is buying 3 of them. Whether it's a mop, vacuum cleaner, the salsa maker. In all reality, you're just trying to figure out how can I offload 2 of these to really get the value, because I'm not just buying 1 for $35.99 when I could get 3 for $50.
Yep. The pitches were great too on the last day. It's like, well, I only have a few left, but you can buy them online for 40. But if the next 5 people that come up, I'm gonna give you the whole thing for 20. But I only have a few left because it's the last day. It was the last day of the fair.
There's only 38 more state fairs to go. Come on. We know you're going somewhere else next week.
Yeah, but the last thing you want to do is pack those sons of guns up. You want to
state
reload them up.
Yeah.
So
now, is that like the corporate version of a carny? Because a carny, you're
they're
traveling.
Absolutely carnies.
But I mean, aren't they like the more white collar version?
I don't know about that.
I don't know that we got to disrespect carnies out here.
That's fair.
I mean,
you're disrespecting the blue collar carnies is what I'm hearing.
Schlepping their stuff in. They're not like setting up the rides and setting up the bungee thing and
you're like a
Ferris wheel.
You're doing a step and repeat or 2.
You're a traveling salesman or traveling. I don't know what the right term is.
Salesman's probably the right way to put it,
because these guys are
they're
honest.
hucksters. They're salesmen.
All right, fine. So the blue collar world is the carnies, and the white collar world is the guys selling the ShamWows.
So we know which ones you care about or respect more.
Listen, I know who works harder. The carnies work harder. Those guys are, an interesting group of characters, though. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest and say it. Okay.
Hit us up. Game balls and kicks to the balls. We got fresh powder on the mountain here.
Fresh
powder. You can have whatever you like. Obviously, I think Jake Bowers is in line for a game ball. So is Logan Henderson.
Logan
General. I mean,
both of those absolutely. But how about one because of Logan Henderson? A kick to the balls to Scott Harris.
Kick him.
Tigers general manager Scott Harris.
Sorry about that.
I hope it doesn't, come back to bite us.
Understandably so. Wanted Logan Henderson. Wasn't going to do a deal if it didn't include Logan Henderson. I wasn't even going to talk much about a deal if it didn't include one Logan Henderson. Now, Tarek Skubal, phenomenal pitcher. He did have a very nice day yesterday. Wasn't unhittable by any stretch of the imagination. But for Scott Harris to not want to really convene and discuss, and as I thought BA said it very well yesterday. I don't know if you caught this on the broadcast, Drew. I think it was maybe second inning. They jumped right into it. They went right into it. I love Dilly, admittedly. Like, I wanted him to get Scooble. I thought they were gonna. And BA said it felt pretty preordained that he was going to go to the Dodgers. He's like, I don't know if there was anything nefarious going on. Very well did. Palms up, BA in the broadcast booth. I'm not saying, just saying. Felt like everybody I talked to, everybody knew he was going to go to LA. And if that was the hill to die on for the Brewers to not go get Scooble, was keep Logan Henderson, I'll enjoy watching 43 pitch for the next 4, 5, 6 years, however long he's here. And Scott Harris can keep that weird little collared sweater back up in Detroit and enjoy River Ryan in your enjoyment to the country club sounding guy of 28-year-old rookie. They like that package a lot more than whatever the Brewers were going to offer up. And I'm glad ultimately that Logan Henderson was not a part of that package.
It is wild. It's nice watching Logan Henderson mature because he's already looking pretty damn good. But, yeah, be careful what you wish for. The Brewers just beat Scooble.
Beat him now, and we'll see. Now, maybe we'll most likely see him again, right? Like the likelihood is you see him again sometime in October, and maybe it faces better. But Scooble threw like 3 straight heaters right at the top of the zone to Johnny Rockets, and you could hear BA and how about a game ball to BA and Tim Dillard as well.
I hope it doesn't.
They were phenomenal over the weekend, and Dilly's like, this dude is clearly doesn't care about him. He's very much does not know who Johnny is, does not care about the 9-hole hitter for the Brewers. I'm gonna feed him 3 straight fastballs and beat him. Third one, he rips into the gap and gets a base hit and keeps a rally rolling. It's funny to see the names not jump off at anybody in baseball, but be able to perform that way. And shout out to Pat Murphy for his recall on who his kid played in.
How about that?
Ball.
Jake Rakes.
Yeah,
that's a game ball for sure.
His son Kai, right, played travel ball with this guy or against this guy.
Johnny Rockets
could never get him out.
He played with guys who ended up in the big leagues, and this guy was the best guy on the team.
He's
Johnny
the best player I've
Rockets.
ever. He's like the best player on the team. He's like, why on earth is this guy not on a roster? Bring him on in. All he does is hit rockets.
It's hilarious.
Amazing. Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
The
Go
seal
ahead,
is we've opened. We've cracked the seal. Let's go. What do you got?
I've got a kick in the balls, but it could be a game balls as well. So I
hope it doesn't, come back to bite us.
I want to know you guys your opinion on this. I saw the Matt Schneidman tweet from yesterday, and it made me think, well, what side do I go on this? LaFleur just tore into Baron Sorrell and booted him from a drill after he bull rushed Anthony Belton into Jordan Love and knocked the quarterback down. So I just said to myself, oh, well, kicking the balls to Baron Sorrell. He got called to the principal's office. But then I said, shouldn't it be kicking the balls to Anthony Belton for not stopping him? I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, what's the point here? We're trying to play hard and try and do our job well. So I thought that was interesting. LaFleur tore into Baron Sorrell, and I'm like, well, maybe he shouldn't be. He should be tearing into Anthony Belton. I just didn't know how you guys felt on that one.
Well, because if the drill is no bull rush, and then you consistently bull rush,
sure,
that's generally not going to be conducive to the drill.
So I get the idea. You're not following the rules, and that's the point of it. Yeah, but
right. It's and the rule is to stay off the quarterback.
Well,
stay away from the quarterback.
I guess that's
what would be the worst thing to do if you don't just stay off the quarterback? Throw a 300+ pounder at the quarterback's legs.
Sure.
Yeah.
That will definitely get you kicked out.
It was interesting because I do understand that. And the point, that's good logic, and the point's true. That's the point of this drill. But, the comments, it was incredible to see the comments and everyone saying, let a hungry dog eat. Maybe the problem is Belton and LaFleur.
Eat during the season. Eat during games.
All right,
eat when the red jersey is not on the guy that is throwing the football and makes $50 million.
When the buffet's ready, that's
you
when
get.
Okay.
You get maybe one of those and a stern warning, but more than that, you're getting tossed. You're getting.
I mean, look no further than Derek Hall, who the Seahawks just paid after he helped them win a championship. They got Mike McDonald, who's a defensive coach, kicked him out of practice. He's like, Derek, that's twice. That's now twice I've had to yell at you to stay off of the quarterback. Yep. So how about you stay off the field, and now we won't have the conversation? Like, it is the quickest way to get kicked off of any field. Any football practice I've ever been around, number one rule, stay off the quarterback.
Yep.
And it's the number one thing that gets yelled throughout practice, not cut him and crack him, not outside leverage, not strong arm. It's stay off of the quarterback. And that's why that Crosby thing in Las Vegas was so hilarious with Cousins. Apparently, Max Crosby just hits quarterbacks. He just runs through, smacks him in the back, smacks him on the ass, like tags the arm every once in a while throughout practice. And Kirk Cousins like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. I'm wearing a red jersey.
How about you cut it?
Well,
out?
I think
we're not doing this. We don't do this. No one does it. So stop doing it.
And I think part of this, maybe there's like an opinion divide, is some people think that if you're got the right football aggressive mentalities, if you should always be looking to break rules and push the edge and do all that stuff. And I think that's where some people have disagreed. I appreciate your perspective, Billy, because I have never practiced on a football field as a football player. So in my mind, I'd be like, yeah, that the point of this drill is to do this the right way to get work in. But it was amazing to me the amount of people that were saying, LaFleur is going after the wrong guy. So I appreciate the perspective. So we'll give him a kick in the balls for that one.
There you go. You're looking for clarity.
Yeah.
It is also one of my favorites of when fights start rolling through, because joint practices happen. And there's going to be...
Packers haven't had a fight yet.
They have not had one. And I think Xavier McKinney had mentioned it early in camp, Drew, of, listen, we got bigger goals, bigger fish to fry. That is one of them. The other thing is, like, as cool as it is to see everybody get excited and the macho football guy in you is like, let's go. Come on. We want to see a little bit of that physicality. We want to know that this matters to you. You know what also matters? Being able to play in games. You know what you can't do when you throw a punch? Play in the game. So as much as you can replicate it and say it's practice, it's a different beast, you're going to want to understand that if you throw one bow in the middle of a joint practice, if that's a real game, whoever it is, you're out. And you just put us in a massive disadvantage. So as cool as it is to get the energy going and the excitement, and I, for one, tomorrow on Training Camp Live, when they go full pads, would be excited to see a little scuffle. If it's next week at the joint practice, you kind of want to see a little edge. There's a reason why they've eradicated it pretty much from practice. And I'd be pretty surprised if all of a sudden the Cardinals came in here and watched Paris Johnson, their left tackle, Drew, start picking a bunch of fights, because I got to imagine the LaFleur brothers are pretty in sync with that sentiment of what and how they want practice looking like.
I would absolutely think so. All right, keep them coming. 877-794-1973. NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Want your not hot takes, your game balls and kicks, and it can be about anything. How
about Jake with the glasses still hitting us up with a game ball? Trace Mack for dominating the preseason game on Thursday night. Let's go, Jake. Let's remind everybody about that. That's and right. Also a kick to the balls to the Dodgers' defensive effort yesterday. Hey, don't kick Dino Ebel, the infield coach for the Dodgers. I know he's third base coach. Might have something to do there.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't be throwing any shade at Dino.
Right.
All right. Dino's birthed two young future Milwaukee Brewers stars.
That's a good
point.
point.
We appreciate Dino over on third base. Hey, maybe holding Teoscar Hernandez yesterday a little early. Maybe trying to throw up a couple more stop signs. Dino into the family. I like what he was doing yesterday.
And again, it's a dose of perspective. Brewers win 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers, and look who's struggling for the Dodgers. And think back to the winner. And the Dodgers got him too. Oh, this sucks. Kyle Tucker went to the Dodgers. Edwin Diaz went to the Dodgers. Oh, what more? They just take everybody. And those guys now suck.
They're both getting booed.
Both got booed off the field this weekend.
It's
it's beautiful.
Suck.
Oh, it's amazing.
Hey, well, okay.
Does it make anybody else happy when Kyle Tucker struggles?
Yes.
I don't know what exactly about him it is, but I really enjoy really enjoy rooting against that.
He left Houston for brighter pastures, right? And he probably should have stayed in Houston and been happy there.
That's been ever since.
He's an easily dislikable figure.
He is quite.
Drew, or Billy,
quite.
I totally agree.
Quite.
Quick.
And,
go ahead,
Armin.
No, I was going to mention quick game ball to the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrabee, who will be joining us at 7:25.
Excellent. Can't wait to talk to Wayne. It's going to be amazing. All right. That is good news. Good news.
Great news.
Keep the game balls and kicks coming. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Monday. Drew, Billy, and Armin bringing it to you. Game balls and kicks to the balls. 877-794-1973. Let's get it. How about a game ball? And this will surprise you. Game ball to Keyshawn Nixon.
Hey, somebody had to. Come on, let me hear why.
Keyshawn, I think he knew. He's aware. The guys can say they're not aware of what's going on, but the social media churn and the guys on the beat been writing about he's got to compete for his starting job and all that. And then
it's impossible.
Apparently, he walked towards the locker and saw the vultures circling and said, "What are y'all creeping for? Let's get it." Let's do it. And he went right into it and said, "Yeah, well," he said, "I feel like I'm being punished," and then went on to say, "It doesn't matter. I'm going to find my way on the field. Play me with the twos. Play me with the threes. I don't care. I'm just out here trying to get my better and blah blah blah." So he said all the right things, but what everybody glommed onto was, "I feel like I'm being punished." And people are like, "Yeah, because you don't tackle."
That would be one. That would be a reason.
And that's basically,
I wonder if he meant it more like, I feel like I'm being picked on, like in a way,
because I think like a little bit. Yeah.
There was a whole thing. There's a thing with like, okay, are you guys just looking for something now in the film of me doing everything? Like, am I the one that's got the bullseye on me? And look, that comes with the territory, though. If you're going to say things like, I'm the cornerback one, I want to be the guy. That means you have an important role in the team, which means you will have a spotlight on you more, So I wonder if that's what he meant more, and maybe that's partly true. It's like if you're a guy that holds a lot, okay, refs are going to look for you more to hold, and then like what's the catch-22? It's what feeds into the other. You have to try and overcome that. So
well, and that's where he is. I understand the feeling like you're being punished because he is coming off at now. Listen, this means a little different. It is a Pro Bowl season. Now, it means something different, right? But he has played a ton of football for them. What do you have? Like almost 1,000 snaps a year ago. And when you join on a minimum salary when you first get there and then work yourself into one of the main starters, you have some feeling and pride into the way that he had played. And I think there's obvious holes in his game, no doubt about it. There's holes in every player's game. His might be a little more glaring when it feels like some of it is effort related, right? Like now, everybody can look at a different video and say and see a different thing. Like the one that gets isolated on Thursday night, that's gonna be a tough play when you got somebody of your own colors, your own team jumping into your legs and diving in front of you. That's gonna be a tough play. The one in Chicago where you're going to jump out of the way of a score, that's an easy one to be able to clam to. But the other part of it is he looks around. I thought the rest of what he had said was pretty well stated. Like when he had mentioned and Jason Wilde kind of encapsulated it well and talked about, he's like, he didn't lash out at coaches. He didn't complain and moan. He didn't really complain. He just knows that he's going to compete for a job. If you're in the NFL and you're going into your age 30 year as a corner and you don't have any guaranteed money, that was already understood.
Yeah.
But once it gets thrown into your face and shoved into your face of Benjamin St. Just going in front of you in the ones, it probably becomes a little bit more real. Now you got to see how he responds. And I think in practice, Drew, he has responded decently well. I think he's played all right. He's played well. Has he been the greatest corner that you've ever seen? No. But if you're anticipating this guy to be prime Darrelle Revis, then let's go watch somebody else. If that's the case.
And you made the case last week. It's like he didn't anoint himself the number one corner. The Packers handed him the job.
The team did, yeah.
And he made a Pro Bowl, such as it is.
I also think it's
it played throughout the year.
They assigned him to the number one role. You can say, well, they should be better there. Okay. But, it is what it is. They gave him the gig.
Mm-hmm.
They can also take it away.
Yes, very much, very quickly.
But it's fascinating. I mean, and he has been a lightning rod because of the tackling, because people don't think he's it's like a starting pitcher that people don't think he's an ace. Freddie Peralta. He's not an ace. He's their best pitcher. He's their opening day pitcher. He's the guy that would start game one, but he's not an ace. Kind of that's Keyshawn Nixon's their number one corner, but he's not a number one corner.
Yeah, he's not a shutdown number one corner. He's not Pat Surtain. No.
He's not a guy you game plan to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and he did.
Rafael Roque.
What did he give up last year? I mean, his, the passer rating against him was pretty high, I know.
Well,
but
is the best, right?
But he's also going to get a decent. They're going to have a decent amount. But like for where you rank him in all of football, like Pro Football Focus had him ranked as the 41st cornerback of 114 corners.
Yeah.
That's still above average, right? Now, I mean, is it where you want him to be if he's your number one? Sure. No, absolutely
Average
not.
would be 60, so he's above average.
So he's above average. And he had plenty of touchdowns caught on him, no doubt about it. I know he had a missed tackle percentage, but he was still their best corner.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
when you look at it right now, he's still probably their second best corner behind Brandon Cisse. We'll see if Benjamin St-Juste for the rest of his career goes, but this is the devil you know and the devil you don't know. There's a lot of folks that have never watched Benjamin St-Juste sizzle reel from when he was playing with the Washington Commanders and playing all the time. You might want to watch Keyshawn Nixon's then. Like if you watch him play an entire season at corner, it's going to be tough to see because St-Juste. Oh, I'm saying he had some rough years. I mean, St-Juste had some rough years as a number one and a starting corner. So be careful what you wish for because all of a sudden Devin Witherspoon isn't walking out that door.
Every corner gets torched. Every corner can look bad on a tackle play, but with Keyshawn, it is consistently the tackling, right? And that's what they're trying to me, it's like that's what they're doing is trying to motivate him to be better,
tackling better,
to be better in supporting the run game. But Gannon wants that. Gannon wants,
of course,
guys that will come up. And it looks like Cisse's one of those dudes.
One of the reasons they picked him. Yeah, his tackle percentage, and Wayne mentioned it during the draft show, is mentioned on Training Camp Live. His tackle percentage in college was some of the best in college football, and I think that was exactly why.
Yeah,
brought into what
you're
looking for.
That's what they're looking for. So again, I mean, but players are who they are, and the idea that a guy who's going to his age 30 season entering free agency is going to change his, he wants to get a bunch of picks. He wants to make some flashy shutdown plays to make a statement and get paid, right? So I'm not shocked at all that he's not pouting and he's not going to do anything to jeopardize anything but try to get on the field and make as many plays as he can to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
This should be his most productive year, probably.
He's probably more worried about when the lights come on, and because it's hard for me to get too worried because it was a preseason game, and I know how we look at it.
Well, week one, he's going to be trailing around Jefferson.
That's when it's important. Like that's when I'm going to care.
Welcome.
Like we're talking about this the last few days because that's what we've had to go on, but it's still preseason. And it really doesn't matter. And I don't, as much as people want to say it does, everyone knows it doesn't, and it does for some guys, but maybe not. And I'm sure players, it seeps into them and I'm not going to try and get hurt in a preseason game. So we'll see what happens when the lights come on. That's when we have to worry about it.
How about a game ball to Tucker Kraft for his return, full-fledged, right? He's back.
Jake Rakes.
He's back doing 11-on-11 stuff
without a contract. I didn't think, Drew, that he would hit the practice field outside and come off of PUP without a contract. Definitely think he wouldn't. I definitely didn't plan on him returning 2 team periods, full padded, running before preseason games are over without a contract. And there he is.
Yeah. Got to admire it.
You do. And you got to know that it's going to happen here sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But I also loved the way he had mentioned it yesterday. He's like, yeah, I think people that watch the games and like fans and everybody on the team, they understand, everybody in the organization knows, every fan knows that we're a different team when I'm out on the field. I think that's pretty obvious without sounding arrogant.
I love that.
Not arrogant, factual. That is true because everybody watching last year, and now that people are rolling through their NFC previews, I heard Chris Long do his on the Packers in the NFC North yesterday. It's like, if you watched their games pre and post Tucker Kraft injury, it was a completely different offense because of just how reliant in the run game and the pass game they were on how dominant he can be. Whether in the run game at the point of attack, pairing him against with Zach Tom, formerly Zach Bakabawele coming up this year, that was their only path to really being able to run any outside zone.
Very true.
And in the pass game, he was your greatest equalizer. And if that's going to be the case again this year, he's ready to, it seems like he'd be ready to roll coming up week 1, everything that he said that he had planned on doing.
877-794-1973. Game balls and kicks to the balls. That's the NicolaLaw.com talking text line where you can send them. Also send them on the Facebook comments. I mean, the streaming comments, YouTube and stuff. Can I kick to the balls? And I hate to do it because it's so easy to do every time. Kick to the balls, Armin.
I hope it doesn't, come back to bite us.
I hope it doesn't come back to bite us. People who, you can't have it both ways. You can't pine and bitch and say the Brewers don't get any respect nationally. Then when they play a national TV game, bitch about how the announcers favor the other side.
That's fair. Yes.
Because they really don't.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really. I mean, John Smoltz was not tearing down Miz.
A lot of people jumped on that comment about the strikeouts. And
yeah. But it's like John Smoltz You can say he's a clown on it for all teams. He's equal opportunity.
I was gonna say,
he spreads
yeah,
it around
he's
to
even
me.
seal, yeah.
And I don't know what it is about that chair, because back in the day, Joe Morgan, when he had that chair, I mean, there was a whole blog, a whole industry. The Fire Joe Morgan was a blog of like, it started with stupid stuff he said,
sure.
then it spun into stupid stuff that everybody in the sports media said.
And it's like Joe
That had
Buck
its
saying,
moment.
it's like, I hate
You're taking
your
a
team.
shot
Yeah.
at my childhood. You saying anything bad about Joe Morgan?
Joe Morgan.
Yeah. Oh,
People
Sunday
didn't
Night
like
Baseball.
him,
Come on,
Mr.
now.
Anti-analytics and everything.
Tim McCarver will go after guys. We
Oh,
know
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Real man, Dion.
But
You're a real man, Dion.
you got to say, like Joe Davis, he went to Beloit, right? He's a
yeah, come on now.
He
He was a
Beloit
Buccaneer.
But they're not, and I say that's about the same thing with the football guys. They're not anti-Packers. You're just hearing it that way because everything you're hyper focused on it. It's just they're not.
I didn't notice the Joe Davis frustration on the home run until like I heard like the ISO cut up or whatever. Then I went online because I wanted to get it cross-referenced, right? Verify it.
Yeah, verify.
If we're gonna be journalists on this show, Drew, we got to do some examining.
Exactly.
And I saw all these Dodger fans being like, "Yeah, how about Brian Anderson's call at Teoscar Hernandez's home run to take the lead in Game 2 of the NLCS last year?" Oh, okay. It's almost like these guys are human. Like that, if you do follow a team for 6 or 7 months of the year, that there might be something to it. Also, I think that's cool. Like that part of it, I enjoy even more. Joe Buck had said it. And I don't know if it was in an interview or he got a write-up about something. Mike Breen called the NBA Finals this year. He has called Knicks games for 40 years. Grew up in New York. Grew up a Knicks fan. And you would not know the way he called that Finals. And I wonder if there were some Knicks fans that wanted to hear a little bit more from their guys.
Salty about it.
I'm a dude in flyover country that also kind of wanted him to, right? Because like I like that personality of it. I like when it comes out that way. I didn't see any issue with it, but I'm also really, really Joe Davis positive. I think he's one of the best broadcasters we have, football and baseball. And I love any time that he's on the soundtrack. The John Schmaltz one, I love that. I didn't think he was taking a shot at Miz. I just thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, exactly.
That's
I just didn't like his take.
He says dumb stuff about all the time.
I didn't like his take.
I was trying to figure it out. Wait. So it is bad to strike out 14 guys.
Yeah, like I don't think it was personal.
That's an idea.
But I could see why Brewers fans thought that. But I agree, Billy. I just didn't like the take of Schmaltz eating some schmelt. But my thing is this: where was the origin story for Schmaltz and Brewers fans? I think it was when Council flipped the lineup around with that Wade Miley opener start.
He was very upset about that.
And he
one,
was
yeah.
so mad about it. He took it personally, I thought. And that's a time when I was like, well, like, John Smoltz, what are you doing here? What are you saying? Like you should understand the strategy at least if you don't like it, like what the Brewers have to do. And I think for some Brewers fans, they think that that's always in the back of the mind for Smoltz. Even if it's not, it's in the back of the mind for Brewers fans to think he's got it out for us, right?
That was when they took Miley out after the one.
After the one to flip the lineup around.
Flip it around? Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was hilarious.
And I remember him go, "Whoa, what's going on here? What is it? This is crazy!" Like,
playoff.
well, I gotta find that
exactly.
again.
He's So
real man,
Smoltz
Dan.
is John Smoltz, and
anytime.
And Brewers fans, you know who John Smoltz is tight with and who he sees all the time and plays golf with? BA.
Yeah, see, that's
I was
the
going to say
thing,
they're
right?
boys.
They
Yeah,
work
no
together,
doubt.
and
they're
they're
not
tight,
gonna
and
be
he's
like
not hating on the Brewers. He's not. He might say dumb things.
I was
but
going to say
he's equal opportunity when it comes to saying dumb things. To me, I don't think he's a great analyst at all. He's a great pitcher.
It's
but I don't
hard
think he's a
for
great analyst.
it's hard for fans when you watch your local broadcast and they're doing it just like you and their fans, and then you see the national broadcast and it's not the same feel. It's hard to adjust to that for some fans.
It is. I agree. All right, game balls and kicks. Keep them coming. It's halftime of the huddle. We're past halftime.
How do we pass it
of the
already?
huddle? I'm Wayne Larrabee at 7:25. You're in the huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Confrontation. Tim McCarver confronted Sanders.
McCarver's right here. Right now. Here you go. I got some real man. You know that? You are a real man, Dion. I'll say that.
I'll always put it back on the team. Like, every one of these guys comes in here and this is a violent sport and we risk life and limb. You know, guys have to medically retire from they banging heads, they got messed up necks, backs. You know, how many times can you blow a knee out? You know, guys keep fighting and clawing to come back into this locker room. And that's the reason I do it. You know, there's other attributes. I want to leave a legacy on this sport as a whole. You know, I want my children to see the lengths I would go to fight for something that I love, and I think I have it right here in the G.
Right here in the G. Armin Saryan presiding over that clip.
And that's just 6 to midnight for Packers fans.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like,
Kraft, yep.
You see somebody, hear somebody representing and loving your favorite football team the same way you do. Tucker Kraft seems to embody that. But also, man, you learn this a lot, Drew, and we get to talk to and hear from athletes all the time and watch this stuff that, like, when it's taken away from these athletes, it means so much more to get back on the field. Watching how he played coming into the NFL, I'm nervous for people that are going to line up against him with that type of chip on his shoulder and that kind of reverence for football again. That's a different level of attitude and excitement.
Absolutely. It's Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday. Hit us up, 877-794-1973. This portion of the program brought to us by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out online, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Check out the array of services. Find a clinic near you. Sign up. Go in. And it doesn't cost anything for them to give you a little test and see how they can change your life. GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Game Ball to Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah, in that vein, Game Ball to the late Tommy John.
Jake Rakes.
Tommy John, man, oh man. Yeah, talk about impactful. The first guy to undergo that career-saving, career-rejuvenating surgical procedure that Dr. Frank Jobe pioneered, where they transplant the ligament and redo your elbow, that ulnar collateral ligament transplant, the Tommy John surgery, which so many thousands of pitchers have undergone now. And it's still like they've shaving time off it, but it's still like a year in the wilderness, a year of
for sure. Yeah.
Boring exercises and trying to get, back and oof.
Yeah, people look at it as maintenance, but it's not, Billy. Yeah.
No, and I mean, like I had obviously pieced the name together and understood it, but you look at the baseball reference page of Tommy John, and it's maybe the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
He had it
after missing that year.
Yeah, he pitched like 13 or 14 years after that.
It's unreal. Misses 75 and pitches until 1989, and you could argue his best years were right after.
Some of his really best years, yeah, those Yankee years, and then obviously
288 wins. Like a lot of folks said, he should have made the Hall of Fame just because he was the first guy, and they named the surgery after him. That is one of the biggest surgeries in baseball. But pitchers survive what would have been career-ending injuries the generation previous.
But to your point, you're right. People remember the surgery because of the name, but he had a great career without that. I mean, they should remember the player. Yeah, 288 wins. He had a 61 WAR. I mean, a lot of guys are in the Hall of Fame with numbers like this. Brewers faced him twice in the ALCS in 82. So he pitched till he was 46. So amazing career, amazing player. And, obviously you always talk about, can you tell the story of the league without this guy? Well, he's definitely one guy you can never tell the story of baseball without. He changed it. Now, maybe, he being the patient, not the surgeon, but the reality is, obviously that was a big one. But we think, like I said, we think about the surgery, and that's how he's remembered. He should be remembered also for a great career. Rest in peace, Tommy John. Great player, great pitcher. And I'm glad we beat you in game 4 in 82.
Well, now it almost feels like you're fixed. Like pitchers are fixed now.
That's what they say.
If all of a sudden you get the surgery, and instead it was just a mind melter for modern science at that point of how do you keep somebody from having this injury. And that's where, like, as the Miz is throwing on Saturday, and immediately when people watch him throw that hard with that velocity, like, you just got to make sure he doesn't get hurt. What pitcher doesn't have some kind of injury, right? What athlete doesn't get hurt at some particular point in time? Now, many are much more catastrophic than others, but you look at like an ACL in the NFL to what that looked like 20 years ago before, Adrian Peterson came back in whatever it was, 8 months and won the MVP. You're starting to see like Achilles tears looking more like that. I'm just reading a story right now about Wisconsin's own George Kittle, who is trying to come back in week 1 from blowing his Achilles out in the wild card round. That would be 9 months from when he popped his in Philadelphia and got himself back onto the field. That used to be potentially almost a year and a half, 2-year injury. This one, like you said, Drew, it's still wandering around in the abyss for 8 to 9 months. But they have even different versions where if you're a position player, you can go out and play rather soon, like we saw with Ohtani hitting.
That's right. Keep the game balls and kicks to the balls coming. The other question that popped into my brain this week, and it's a lot of ball game left, but that game that Miz pitched and the way he handled Ohtani and Freeman in big situations, he may have wrapped up the Cy Young.
That's going to be a hard one to beat. Yep, I would be with you on that one, Drew.
On that stage against that team, he was trending that way anyway. And now I think guys just they'll still watch it, but I think most of the voting populace, whatever the 32 guys are, they're gonna be like, yeah, he's the guy.
Is it? There's a lot of moments that are involved with it, right? Like I think of that with the Heisman voting and with the MVP. Like you got to have some moments, some callback shots. For Mendoza this year, it was that drive against Iowa where he throws the touchdown. Penn State, that drive. What's going to be on the sizzle reel when they do the celebration video? Him pumping his fist after striking out Ohtani and Freeman might be the first one.
That one game when he pitched and he struck out 7 of the first 9 or whatever, and it was ridiculous.
The Phillies 15 strikeout, him with the hands up in the air. That'll be the culmination of the video.
Yep, I think it's trending that way. At this point, I don't see how he can not win it.
At the Potawatomi Sportsbook, he was minus 500 last week to win the Cy Young, or minus 435, I should say, to win the Cy Young. He's now minus 1,000. That means you got to put up $100 if you want to walk away after they announce the victory for you to profit a whopping $10.
Oh my.
So they're pretty much locked in that Jacob Mizorowski is going to be getting that award.
A win's a win. All right.
Armin's cashing that ticket, locking it in.
A win's a win.
Just pair the Brewers to win the division, and Brewers to win the division is minus 750 or 715. Oh, you can't combine those. Sorry. I thought I was going to crack the code for you.
I'll find some more for you.
You'll find some juice for us to get some minus 1,000 favorites in there.
Lockridge, no home run. It's got to be at like minus 3,000 somewhere.
Oh, loving it. We'll keep the game balls and kicks the balls coming. You're going to hear from Wayne Larrabee, the voice of the Packers, coming up at 7:20. He's going to be on the Huddle on Mondays and Fridays. Giddy up. Football's almost here. We're a month away from the Packers opening a real game. Let's go. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. Well, at least in the regular season, the Brewers have the Dodgers number.
To win it. Oh, Bowers ropes one into the gap. Churio on his horse. That's all the way to the wall. Churio around third. He's going to score. And Jake Bowers is red hot. It's an RBI double. It is 3-1 Milwaukee.
Brian Anderson on the call on Brewers TV. Jake Bowers with 4 hits. Jackson Churio had 3. The Brewers beat the Dodgers in Los Angeles 6-2. Milwaukee takes 3 of 4 in the series. The Brewers off today. They'll welcome in Seattle for 3 games starting tomorrow night. To football, it was a most welcome sight Sunday morning at Rainichke Field. Tucker Kraft returning to team drills for the first time since tearing his ACL last November. The Packers will next have an open workout tomorrow at 10:30. Friday, it's preseason game number 2 at Denver. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy got to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, be hand, see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Dominating a Monday in the good land the way the Brewers dominated the Dodgers in Chavez Ravine over the weekend. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths who wait for the health club to open. We welcome members of the 7 o'clock club to the program.
You are welcomed, even though attendance generally required a little bit earlier. As long as you're here, it'll still count. We appreciate it.
Yep, 7 o'clock clubbers, welcome. Welcome in. Let's get to it. Game balls and kicks to the balls, 877-794-1973. We've obviously been lauding the Brewers for the gritty series victory over the Dodgers over the weekend.
And a little pesky and frisky, right? Like, I mean, those 9th innings on Thursday and Friday night, Drew, those are about as Brewers of games as you can possibly get.
No doubt.
And Joey Ortiz coming up with the bases loaded in the 9th inning on Friday night, the one game they lose. You like to know that as things continue to change, that they can also still remain the same.
Exactly.
And that Joey Ortiz can still always come up with the bases loaded in a big moment.
Yeah,
It's good to be able to see that the lineup in the game will still find you in that same way. I don't want things to be too different. I don't want things to be too bad. Like, I hate to do this right out of the gates here at 7:03. But how about a kick to the balls to our friend Armin Sarian?
I hope it doesn't, come back to bite us.
This happened just a couple of minutes.
On host.
This happened just a couple of minutes ago. As Armin a lot of times will very, very well and accurately, and most of the time, I would say, in the face of adversity, a lot of times I get my best hero of the day and wake and bake stories from Armin Sarian.
I try and provide if I can. We're all here to support each other.
And he flares me during the last commercial break.
I got one. I'm excited, man.
Billy, I got a good one for you for hero of the day coming up in the inbox. Why don't you go check that out? Why don't you go check out your inbox? Hit me. I got the notification on my phone. Drew, not 20 seconds later.
Okay. I was so excited. I couldn't even wait to check.
Billy, you got to check your inbox. I got a good one for you. And Armin Sarian sent a video, which is hilariously done, of a young man who decided that he was only going to eat Costco hot dogs and food samples to save money, not to, donate to the needy, not saving up for a new house, a new car, but because He needed more money to gamble with.
And I'm like, this is a banger. It's right up your alley. This is going to be funny. I found a good one. I was so excited to send it over. I just did it right away. Instinct. Boom, boom.
Video comes from the fake VNN network, according to Grok's service of X, as this is one of the absurdly satirical stories and has zero reporting behind it. X only restricts videos that are not obviously AI humorous entertainment. Armin just got AI'd and thought that we had a sweet hero of the day and had to stand squarely there to catch this one right near the nets. Now, I know that we would love to know that there was somebody out there that was simply going in for the little slivers of Costco pizza.
It was too good to be true. It's like, no one could believe. They always would tell Larry David, no one can believe this. No one's going to believe this story. He goes, what do you mean it happened to me? That's why I wrote this story for the Seinfeld. It's like, you know what? I could see someone trying the Costco samples. I would. I'd try and eat just Costco samples to save money. And here, lo and behold, it's fake. So, wow, I took an L on that one. But, man, that's too bad. Hey, you never know. VNN could be real somewhere in the world.
Somewhere it could. Somewhere
Network.
VNN could be. The viral news network just might somewhere, Drew, be in existence.
This really hot girl sent me a friend request on Facebook, and then I looked at her profile picture, and she had 6 fingers.
Well, I'm sure Anastasia's
so I'm thinking
real.
I'm sure.
I don't know exactly how that one worked.
Yeah.
Armin, don't ever change, brother. Don't ever change.
We do need to do Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, DonovanJorgensen.com, the website. The weather yesterday was some oppressively muggy.
Oh, gross.
High dew points. That means you got to turn on the AC, and if your AC's on the fritz, well, it makes life rough.
We are getting a dropping dew point this morning, though.
My wife was very frustrated with me yesterday morning when I said, hey, just so you know, turning the air on. She's like, are you sure? Like, it's going to be nice outside. Isn't it? I'm like, nope.
It's going to be soupy.
Nice.
It's going to be gross. You can chew on the air out there. So, we
bad.
closed those windows up, turned on the AC, and luckily, thanks to Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, it fires right up, and there's no issue and no nervousness when you turn that bad boy on that it's going to fire you up.
You know those days that no matter what you do, it's so hot and muggy that, like, as soon as you step outside, you know you're going to have BO. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, there's no way you can avoid
welcome to my world.
It's just like there's no way I'm not going to stink no matter what I do.
You can wear Iron Jock shirts and not stink.
That's
Thank
but
you, Drew.
I mean,
I
think I'm the test case though, because I mean it's hard to like fight that, but yeah, that's your best shot at it.
All right.
Man,
how about
muggy?
How about in the hot category, starting up for now we don't necessarily love to celebrate these guys, but when somebody goes in their major league debut and hits not 1, not 2, but 3 bombs, Joshua Baez going to start out there. The 23-year-old for the Cardinals made his major league debut on Saturday at Wrigley Field, 3 for 4, 3 bombs, but then follows it up by very much not being hot and going 0 for 5 with 3 Ks, Drew. Now there might be a little correction to the mean there.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Or we might have the modern day version of Russell Branyan, Adam Dunn back in the NL Central, which I would definitely be a fan of.
Looks like a dude, but man, one for the ages. 3 home runs. 1 to right, 1 to center, and 1 to left.
I was going to say he was equal opportunist too.
That's unbelievable.
Were you covering the Sean Green game, Drew? 4
I was
homers?
there, yes, indeed.
That's got to be just remarkable feat.
There.
I mean,
was this a normal getaway day game between the Brewers and Dodgers, like a Wednesday afternoon, and lo and behold, history.
It's also great that one was televised, because if it wasn't for the opponent broadcast, there might not have been any great video of that day for Sean Green.
Yeah, I remember, and they wanted him to go to the media auditorium for his post-game presser. He's like, I don't want to do that. Like, what did I do? No big deal.
What did
understated.
I
no
do?
big deal.
It didn't happen. Nothing matters. It's okay.
Pretty funny.
Also in the hot category, the Chicago White Sox. They've won 6 of their last 8. Swept the Tigers at Comerica this weekend. Now they roll into the Crosstown series against the Cubs starting up tonight. 3 games against the White Sox and Cubs start up at Wrigley Field. Hot ticket, lowest price ticket to get in right now for that game is $104 in the secondary market.
Ooh.
It is remarkable how I feel like at the beginning of the year it was like, well, the White Sox are winning some games, but they're starting to really sense that there's a chance for them to do something here. And obviously when the AL Central, which is kind of weak, they're 5.5 up now. they've been getting better and better. It's quite a story, this White Sox team, because we're only a couple of years removed from one of the worst seasons in MLB history.
It would almost now be surprising if they didn't end up finishing it off and winning the division. Now, granted, you can always see something crazy happen, but
their pop is 72% now to make the playoffs. I mean, what a story they've been. If you had, I don't know what the future was at the beginning of the year, Billy, if you had that one, but hey, good for the White Sox fans who are usually long-suffering, struggling, and I don't seem to have a problem with you as much as the Cubs fans.
Well, they were your White Sox for a while.
I know.
I mean, I remember last year we had you getting the White Sox win total over the last couple of years, right?
Over 51. That was like system play for me. Are you kidding me? But man, they're 65 and 58, and they're believing, and they're winning a division where nobody else wants to even go 500. So why not?
Staying hot once again are the San Diego Padres. After the Brewers got swept by the Padres, they had won 14 of their last 18. They win 2 of 3. My math would make that 16 of their last 21 games they have found into the W column. And yesterday was largely thanks to their acquisition of Casey Mize. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. And he was on the ropes against the Crew in his last start, Drew. And then all of a sudden they kind of get blessed, get saved with the Merrill home run. And what a different run it's looked like for Mize since he's come over there for the Padres.
No doubt. The hottest team in baseball in the last, month is the Padres.
Yeah, and they're not slowing down on that one. Also in the hot category as well, maybe you could call this hot. Good for Von Miller. He's back in the league. He's still getting a check. He did last year with the Washington Commanders. He might have forgotten.
Oh my.
That future Hall of Famer Von Miller and current all-time active sack leader. The most active sacks in the National Football League is Von Miller, and he's coming home to play for his hometown team, the Dallas Cowboys, in his 15th season.
Dallas native A&M guy. Yeah, I saw Aaron Donald worked out with somebody, right?
With somebody.
Yeah.
The Rams.
The Rams, yeah.
Worked out with the Rams because, again, we're just going to let this cat just basically practice for 2.5 weeks, circumvent the salary cap, and then sign whenever he wants.
It is pretty interesting. I guess, I don't know if it's unprecedented.
I just want him to sign now so that doesn't lead every single NFL conversation that happens on television. Is that fair?
Yes.
We just get it done now?
I agree.
Is this how all other teams felt like when Favre was going back and forth whether or not he was going to play? Because that was starting into camp. And then if you had a vested interest, you cared about it for the football. This, I just want them to do it so then we can stop listening about it.
And I also remember when Jordan started playing pickup at the Berto Center. Like, that was the other thing. When he came back his first time, he started, oh, look, here comes Michael's Ferrari. He's playing pickup again. And then they would interview everybody in and out of practice.
Oh,
and Stacey King would get to go on the mic and the interview, BJ Armstrong, all these guys. And they're like, oh, he's just playing pickup. He just likes basketball, guys. And Phil would say, he's welcome anytime and all that stuff. So that reminds me of that a little bit. Hey, congrats to who's hot. Congrats to Karl Anthony Towns and Jordan Woods. They tied the knot over the weekend.
Hey, there we go.
Star-studded couple wed in Malibu.
2 rings in a year for Cat.
2 rings in a year for Cat. Yeah, they got married in Malibu, and it looked like an event that was sort of like a championship reunion. Obviously, Brunson, OG, Josh Hart were some of the Knicks there. And Timothy Chalamet and Ben Stiller got to go to the wedding. So there you go.
All right.
I was going to say the courtside boys got to be in there, right?
That's right.
How about that?
I would also say a couple of one last game or game ball who's hot. Diana Taurasi. She had her number 3 retired from the Phoenix Mercury.
Cool.
Amazing career that she had. And in the not category, the Minnesota Vikings lose Jamal Adams.
Come back to bite us.
Yeah, that is a kick in the balls because they were banking on Jamal Adams playing for them, and non-contact injury in the preseason opener on that MetLife turf. It claims another victim.
There's been some interestingly bad injuries in camp and preseason. Only 1 week of preseason so far, but obviously the Bears had one with Kobe Bryant and all this. So there's been injuries in this division. You try to avoid that, right? I mean, you want to get ready for the year, but there's always lurking around that corner is that fear that you could have a bad injury when it doesn't really count yet. So they're dealing with that now in Minnesota.
They're football players. Guys get hurt in practice too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna get the tough thing for Adams is he signed like the night before camp opened. And he moved to linebacker with the Raiders last year. He came in with the Vikings with a 54 number Then they changed him to a 32, thinking that they're going to throw him, line him up back at safety, having fun with the chess piece, and then whoops, now all of a sudden goes. He was big with the first teams, and they were going to run a lot of 3 safety packages, so they'll have to adjust there in Minnesota. That's tough because Jamal Adams was a phenomenal player when he was first coming out and has really been hampered by a lot of injuries since for the former 6th overall pick.
How about, as you look around the league, game ball to Malik Willis had a good debut.
Let's go. Come on,
Running the show in Miami. All right, but the Vikings have declared Kyler Murray the starter, right?
Yes, sir.
Not a shock, but they did bring him in basically to start, but he's won the job. Who's winning the job in Cleveland?
I think it's going to be Deshaun.
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
For a couple of reasons. One, similar to the McCarthy-Murray dynamic, Drew, I think it's a lot easier to go back to Shedeur. A lot easier than it would be to go back to Watson, right? Like you bench Watson and give Shedeur the job first. You probably are losing out there and he's not going to be as dialed in, engaged. And if indeed you got to go back to him, you're probably not getting the same player. Like Kyler Murray, I've never been a backup probably in his entire life as the only athlete to ever be drafted in the top 10 in the MLB and NFL. I would doubt that he would be very receptive or take well to the second string job where McCarthy's done it a couple of times. You probably have a better chance to go back to him. I also think how much money have they paid Deshaun Watson now? 140,
150,
160 million. Like you might as well see it one more time. Like at that point, you've spent so much cash on it. What's another 4 games in the AFC North that you're not going to win matter? I think that's the lottery ticket for him to still be somewhat of the player that you watched when you signed him to that contract. I think that one's too good to pass up. What about you? Where would you go?
Deshaun for all those reasons.
I think Shedeur is just fun just because of the name, right?
Yeah.
But you look at the games that they won with him last year. Wasn't like he played great.
No, he's
it wasn't like the numbers were great. They were some of the weirdest, most miraculous plays at the end that would come through, and that's what would give you a little bit of. It's what gives Bears fans very much confidence in Caleb Williams. But to compare the two players is a little unfair because one does show you the top end performance, and the other one, it's like, all right, what kind of rabbit can I pull out here to be able to extend this drive for a gain of 12? Because that's about as much as we're gonna get.
The way I look at it is they don't really obviously have any good options because we have to debate all the leftovers. But Deshaun Watson, and I know it's been a while, he's the one guy that's shown in this league he could do it. And you ask yourself, is that somewhere inside of him still? So I think that's why you have to try and start him. I don't know what else you can really do there. And you're paying him anyway, so. And
one game ball to somebody who's been scuffling for it, and you're going to laugh when you hear that. Game ball to Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, hey.
Scotty Scheffler, okay.
He had not caught a win in 16 consecutive starts, and Scotty had about the worst possible first rounds you could have consistently. Won the FedEx St. Jude yesterday. Also hit a bunker shot that he thought was ideal until he saw it hit hard off a sprinkler, roll across the green and disappear down the slope into the water. A sure birdie turned into a bogey. He had a 2-shot lead and then just ran away from everybody. It wasn't even close at the end of the day as Scheffler wins by 8 strokes. They started the playoffs, Drew, in the PGA. So I know you were dialed in waiting for the playoffs to happen. Now the playoffs are started. So now we'll totally watch a lot more golf.
Oh, sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Firmly planted in cheek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
We'll totally be watching a lot more of that playoffs.
Have we mentioned yet the Thriller? I know Armin was hard down watching the Indiana Fever, right?
Yes, they won a big one last night. Got some
OT Thriller there.
OT Thriller, Caitlin Clark. Should she be our superhero of the game? Brought to us by Current Electric.
You know what? That's a good one. That would be a decent one. I was going to give the game ball to our upcoming guest, Wayne Larrivee. For joining us, voice of the Green Bay Packers, for waking up, joining us here on a Monday. But I wouldn't be upset with giving it to 22 after she puts up 26 and 9. But let's give it to Wayno. Let's give it to, you know why? Because he's got to deal with me every single day up at Training Camp Live, and he'll be doing it again coming up tomorrow, as well as joining us coming up here next.
But the last public practice of the week, right?
Last public practice of the week.
We're running out of those. We got like 3 left.
You're right. Only 3 of them left. Yesterday they had one we were not on the air for, but tomorrow, then next week, Monday, Wednesday against the Cardinals in the joint practice, and that is it for camp.
That's it.
Current Electric, though, will keep the lights on whether training camp's in or it's the regular season. They're always in mid-season form. Go to callcurrent.com, whether it's a generator conversation you want to see, if you want to see if there's a perfect right whole home generator for your house, Current Electric can help you out there. Or if you're just trying to, you've spent all summer long realizing that your outdoor lighting is not cutting it, they'll give you an idea of what you should do coming up next year. So give an eye towards summer of 2027, have your backyard looking the absolute best. Call current.com for all of your electrical needs.
The voice of the Packers and friend of the program, Wayne Larrivee, is in the huddle next. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling along the Monday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Billy Schmidt, Armin Sarian. Happy to be joined by special guests, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrivee, joins us. Wayne, welcome to the Huddle.
Good to be with you guys. How you doing?
We're fantastic.
We're well caffeinated at this point in the morning, Wayne. This is when the caffeine really
I'm getting
starts
there.
I might have to catch
quite as long as you have, but I'm getting there.
I was going to say you're catching up, and that's all that matters. And catching up quickly is what you have to do if you're joining practice this late into the process. Good to see, as we're going to be back for training camp live tomorrow. Tucker Kraft into team drills yesterday. Long-awaited return, but Wayne, I thought we were going to be waiting on something else to hit Tucker Kraft's table in terms of a contract, making him the richest tight end in pro football before he hit the practice field. That was a shocker to me. What about you yesterday?
Not so much knowing Tucker a little bit. His attitude is that that's business, and that's something he leaves to his agent. And Tucker's focused on the football aspect of it. So it was no surprise to me to see him out there as a player, as a person. That's who he is. And the contract, no doubt in my mind, it'll get done. I think it's a matter of, this is from my speculation from the outside looking in. I imagine they're not arguing so much about money as to about guarantees. And I would imagine if I'm the team, I'm thinking, okay, this guy's coming off a major injury. Let's tie some of the money to appearances. You know what I mean? You play all 17 games, you're going to make $20 million. You're guaranteed. But some of that money might be tied to, like, if you miss a couple of games due to injury, whatever, that kind of thing. Meanwhile, if I'm the player, I'm saying, no, $20 million right off the top now. Mm-hmm. George Kittle's getting his $19 million no matter how many games he plays. So why can't I get my $20 million? And let's assume we're not going to see an injury like that again.
Now that he's back, and you guys are going to be chronicling it and have been for many of these practices, will the offense start winning some practices? Because it's like the defense has been running the table on them so far.
Yeah, you know what, Drew? It's interesting, and Billy, I'm curious to get your observation on this. The defense is a lot different than what the offense was going up against last year from a schematic standpoint. Not so much personnel, but a schematic standpoint. And I think some of this, what Jonathan Gannon's doing, I really like it. Disguising coverages, blitzing from all angles. Doesn't matter who you are. Anybody on that field is going to possibly blitz. I think there's a lot of uncertainty that goes into that for the offense. And they've struggled with it a little bit. Also, the offensive line is not set by any means yet. And I think that's a big part of it as well. So there are a couple of things happening on the offensive side of the football that have to be tightened up between now and Minnesota, and I think they will be. But on the other hand, the defense is also doing some creative things that, the offense has maybe not seen a whole lot of, at least not in practice over the last few years.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of the mugged up on the line of scrimmage, 7-8 men on the line of scrimmage. Wayne, I wasn't anticipating seeing it in the preseason opener in the first series. I guess generally speaking, you see a lot of very vanilla, and the Packers were really vanilla late into the game. You look at what Drew Aller was throwing against; it was very, very clear cut of what they potentially were running. But early in the game, when they mugged up everybody on the line of scrimmage with their starters in, that was a little taste of what we've seen. Zaire Franklin blitzing and Lucas Van Ness getting home. I thought that was a nice little glimpse for people that maybe haven't seen what the practices have looked like at Ray Nitschke Field, of kind of what we've watched throughout a lot of their team periods. Is there's a real question as to who's coming and going, and they're going to bring everybody up and see how they can cover it right away.
Yeah, it's a little bit like what Flores is running in Minnesota, a little bit like that. With a different twist here and there. It's interesting because we had this discussion in Pittsburgh about how Don Capers in his first year in 2009 ran the whole defense in preseason. I mean, he felt like it was important that his guys run what they were going to run during the regular season and get used to doing it. Jonathan Gannon, to a little lesser degree, you mentioned it, Bill, early on, they did some of the stuff we've seen in practice. They ran some of their stuff. They didn't run a lot of it, but they ran some of it. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan Gannon last week was saying that, our guys, kind of need to be able to do this in a game situation so that when we do it in September, it's not the first time we've done it in a game. And there's a lot of validity to that. The other factor, of course, is you don't want to show too much because you don't want Minnesota preparing for what you're going to do either.
Wayne Larrivee joining us, voice of the Packers. What else? We spent a lot of the postgame show talking about Trey Smack and the 4 field goals, 3 that counted. What stood out to you from the other night in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Trey Smack probably was the big factor that really showed out for them. I thought Lucas Van Ness playing just those 3 snaps, getting home, showed you that really his training camp, the OTA's mini camp, training camp, he's been good. He's going to have a very good year if he stays healthy. Got a little bit of a shoulder ding right now. I don't think it probably would keep him out of a game, but at training camp, it might get him a few days off, that's for sure. I thought, some of the things that I saw, Marshawn Lloyd, you could see the innate quickness and that type of thing. Was he reading the play right? Was he making the correct cut, that kind of thing? Maybe his vision wasn't quite as good, but that's only because it's been 2 years since he's been really in a game and able to shake the rust off of what it takes to make a good run. Because running the football, it's not just your athletic ability, but it's your vision, following the blocking and that type of thing, knowing where the block is going to go and where you have to go in relation to that block. So I think he shook off a lot of rust, came out of the game healthy. That's all we wanted to see. And now we'll go from there. But I thought that was a positive. Again, I just think little things here and there that we saw in that game. What was it great overall? No, but at least I thought there was some positives to take from it. And 2 of them were the kicker, and I thought the pass rush early on.
I also thought, Wayne, another good one was to see Jaden Reed across the middle for 19 yards. Now, well documented his health issues a year ago. Maybe not as much the frustration I think that he went into the offseason with on the last ball that got thrown his way down in Chicago. He's been pretty sure-handed for them and gets the contract extension this year. A lot of excitement about Christian Watson, understandably so. Matthew Golden, I think, is primed for a huge year over as the ex-receiver, but does feel like the X factor to their offense kind of is what Jaden Reed can do across the middle. And I thought that was, in their one series, the perfect example of what their offense kind of looks like if it's rolling the best, is getting him the ball out in space.
I can't agree with you more, Billy. And, Jaden Reed, and we've seen a lot of Sky Moore. They're trying to find a place for him in this offense as well, in addition to the kick and punt returning, which is, the biggest impact he will have on this team is if he gives them a legitimate return game, both as a kick returner and a punt returner. And that's huge. That is huge. And if that's all he does, then he's done more than enough. But they're also, to me, seemingly finding him a spot, maybe in the slot, maybe on some of those jet sweeps that they have. You were mentioning it to me. Tyler Ervin is a scat back the Packers had a number of years ago. What is it, Billy? 5 or 6 years ago, whenever it was. And they had big plans for him, and he got dinged up and never really made it. But Sky Moore's a guy they maybe see in that kind of a role that could add some juice to this offense as well.
Wayne, I don't know if it's part of your pregame routine to drop by the field before a game, but I was just wondering if you had a chance at all to cross paths with Mike McCarthy or Aaron Rodgers, or
I did not see Big Mike, but I did talk with Aaron Rodgers and had a nice little chat with him. Just one of my favorite players of all time. He really is. And as to me, as a person, he's always been great. And we had a nice chat. And I think he's looking forward to this season. Don't get me wrong. He's happy to be back with Mike. He expressed that to me very much so. I think this is kind of nostalgic for him, but he's also looking forward to retirement. And I think he's ready after this year to hang him up and go into retirement and probably be pretty quiet in retirement, I would think.
Well, he said that, Wayne. Do you expect that out of him, or do you think he's always going to find his way back to the game in some way? I'm curious of what you think about that.
I think he'll find his way back to the game, but, I wouldn't bank 100% on that. He's a different cat, and I know that with his marriage, and that's kind of changed his outlook a little bit. And I think that he's looking forward to that aspect of it. Will he come back to the game at some point? Maybe, maybe not. It wouldn't surprise me either way.
It seems like it could go either way. What'd you think of the young quarterbacks that they had playing? Like, Rodgers was watching guys and watching perhaps his potential replacements battling it out with Allard and Howard. What'd you think of the way those guys comported themselves?
I thought they played really well. The quarterbacks for that team, the backup quarterbacks, I thought were outstanding in that game after Mason Rudolph. Drew Aller, Billy, as you mentioned, you're right. He played against the Packers' third string group, and they weren't doing anything to disguise any coverages or anything. The coaches are just trying to figure out if they've got a dime into the diamond in the, in one of those players on that third string. But I thought Drew Aller was very impressive. I thought Kyle McCord was impressive for the Packers as a backup quarterback. And I thought the Drones kid, and they cut him a day later, but he just didn't appear to be anywhere close to ready. Great athletic ability. The kid certainly will get another look somewhere in a camp, but not on the level of the other quarterbacks that played in that game. But I thought Drew Aller was pretty impressive for Pittsburgh. Now they invested a third-round pick in him, so I think they have intentions of developing him.
I would assume him and Howard are both going to make the team, right? They're both top 5 round picks, and Rudolph, I think you kind of know who he is at this point. But you mentioned McCord, Wayne, and Tyrod Taylor is going to be the backup, and I think you saw a little bit of why in the game, but I think we've seen it more during practice and the headiness as to what he can do, maybe being a little bit of coach on the bench when Matt needs to be coaching the rest of the football team out near the sidelines. But McCord does seem like he has a little something. And when they signed him in the offseason, I liked the idea. I thought he was going to be the number 2 before they got Tyrod Taylor. It's a dude that has some real tools and played a lot of good football in college. What else did you notice? Because that 2-minute drill up until the end of the first half, getting smacked a 58-yard chance. Drew and I talked about it on the postgame show a lot because there was a lot of time to talk on the postgame show. But I thought it was clearly the moment of the game, not only for Smack, but I thought it was the best moment for McCord.
That would have been impressive in practice.
In practice, you're right. Would have been good. Not only there.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. He's a 6th-round draft choice by the Eagles a couple of years ago. So he's been around a little bit, and his experience helped him from last summer. But I was very impressed with him. He has enough of an arm. There's no question about his ability to throw the football. I think they're finding out that he could be a solid pocket kind of quarterback. He does have some ability to move a little bit in the pocket and that type of thing. But I'm with you guys. I was really impressed with the way he commanded the offense in that 2-minute drill. That's not easy to do for a second-year quarterback who's really never played in an NFL game.
Well, Wayne, now that the Trey Smack discourse has quieted until he misses a couple more kicks in practice, and will be more. It'll churn up again.
Right back up. Yeah.
It seems like the top story now might be Keyshawn Nixon, who addressed reporters at his locker yesterday and was been put on we want to say put on probation a little bit. Told that he's competing for his starting job and stuff. Maybe it's just signal and noise. I don't know. What do you think? What's your read on that situation with Keyshawn?
I still think it's a fluid situation to some extent, Drew. Benjamin St. Juste is a guy they really like, and he certainly looks the part. Are they ready to commit to him as a starter over Keyshawn? That's the question. I don't think that's been answered yet, but there is a legitimate competition going on there. I think Brandon Cisse is going to start on the other side. And remember when we talked earlier this year, I said, I think to you guys, one of the 2 starters has to be replaced in the Packers starting cornerback core for this team to be better. And I think that's being answered by Cisse at cornerback. Will he have ups and downs? Yes. Will fans go nuts in your postgame show? Board will light up like a Christmas tree at Thanksgiving night? Yes, because he's going to get beat at times, and he's going to be facing the Justin Jeffersons of the world and that kind of thing. And they will beat you. They will beat the best cornerbacks in the game. But in the long run, boy, I like what that kid does. Made a great play down to the goal line against the run. If your cornerbacks come up and they support against the run and they're tough and they won't find a place to go to avoid a hit, then you've got a tough defense. And I think that's a big part of it. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it with Cisse. On the other side, I still think Keyshawn Nixon's going to be the starter. But I think right now they're really that's a competition. And the other one that everyone's talking about in camp is Anthony Belton, and it certainly looks like he's going to be the swing tackle instead of the starting right guard. That's what it looks like at the moment. That could change.
Well, keep it on the offensive line there for a second, Wayne. Aaron Banks is very much a question now, as he mentions and talks about the tendonitis that's going on in his knee. That's a tough thing to be able to deal with on a week in and week out basis. But I thought Burton acclimated himself pretty well over there at left guard. And Jacob Monk, we've talked a lot about during Training Camp Live, probably more than people thought that they would hear Jacob Monk's name. But if those two guys take both of those guard jobs, financially, it's a question. But for the future of the football team, I don't know that it's necessarily the worst thing. Does that make sense? Like, if you get two young guys that you believe play him out of a role, I think that might be what you start to see over the next week and a half.
Well, and it also depends on how they play. That's the number one thing. Sure, you could start those two young guards, and if they play well, the future is secure. If they don't, you're back to square one in another year. But those two guys have stepped up and played pretty well. Jacob Monk in particular. Burton had a bit of an injury issue early on in camp, and that might have set him back a little bit. But they really like Burton. They've liked Jagger Burton ever since he walked in the building. They feel he's a football player. And when the football people say that about someone, that means that's a high praise compliment. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves. Again, still a very fluid situation. Would they like to see Banks start at left guard? Yeah, they would. They paid him all that money because they feel he can be an impact road grader type of player at that position. But the fact is, number one, he's got to stay healthy, and number two, he's got to play well. And if he doesn't, then they'd have no problem starting Monk or Burton there. But I think Monk is probably going to be a right guard. At least that's what it looks like right now.
Wayne, we're in such a weird time period now because the season is just under a month away. And yet Billy and I were just talking to Training Camp Live. You only have 3 more public practices that you guys are going to be up in the perch.
Wild.
So it's like camp's almost over, but there's still a lot left. I don't know. It puts me in a weird spot thinking about where we are right now.
Yeah, I think these are dog days, guys. I don't know about you, but, coaches have been moving these players around back and forth and all this other stuff. And every day we're commenting about training camp like it's a game. And it's just, the regular season can't get here fast enough. Let's put it that way. Let's make some decisions. I'm talking in general about the NFL now. Let's make some decisions on your people and let's get it on. Let's go. Enough of this charade. Training camp gets really, I think, tedious at this stage of the game. There are some interesting roster battles to watch in every camp, Packers included. Let's get them resolved and let's get to the regular season with some answers.
What did we hit? 160 players played on names listed on Thursday night. Wayne, you went through that entire Rolodex on that roster sheet. That was well done by you, sir. It was well done.
It was brutal. It was brutal. Not only to do the first broadcast, but we had a new producer and everything else. So yeah, it was not just shaking off rust. It was quite a challenge. Let's put it that way. Preseason's always a challenge for play-by-play guy. The analysts can just concentrate on the Packers, and that's all you want to hear about. And that's what Larry does, and he does it better than anyone because he's at every practice. But the play-by-play guy, when Mason Rudolph completes that pass, I kind of have to know who he threw it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the hard part, especially the second half of these games.
I love it.
It was dynamite. We rolled through all the highlights, even though the Packers didn't give us a whole lot. You gave us a lot, so we'll see some more for tomorrow.
Thanks, Wayne.
You guys
Wayne,
are
thanks
way
for
too
joining
kind.
us. Yes. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later in the week.
You got it, guys. Take care. Talk to you Friday.
Right.
See you tomorrow.
Wayne Larrivee, voice of the Packers. Tomorrow, Training Camp Live. It's you only got 3 left.
Yeah, we got to save it. We got to
11 to
enjoy
1.
them. Soak it in.
Billy and Wayne. When we come back, we're going to be waking and baking with our friends from happyplacehemp.com. You're in the huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Monday, Drew, Billy, and Armin. Early morning crew. 7 o'clock clubbers. Getting ready to give way to the 8 o'clock clubbers. Those are the stragglers.
Yeah, those are the folks that are doing some real fake hustle, Drew.
Come on.
Yeah. That's
Getting up at
definitely
8 and joining us? Come on. That's sleeping in.
Wake up a little bit.
Time for a little wake and bake story brought to us by happyplacehemp.com. Oh, baby, the Drift Seltzer. Doesn't get any better. Check out the Drift Seltzer. Check out the gummies. Check it all out. Use the code HUDDLE for 25% off and free shipping every time you make an order at happyplacehemp.com. Billy, what's the wake and bake story this morning?
So I'm struggling. I got a couple of nominations. One that was very hot and exciting in my house was, and I don't know if anybody else with kids, there's a big mashup this weekend. I don't know if you saw this of the Savannah Bananas and Frozen. Kristen Bell,
Oh, I saw that.
singer of portrays Anna in the Anna.
I saw people getting mad about it too. You know, every time the Savannah
mad about it?
people,
A lot of folks
not
were saying
me.
it was the seventh circle of hell.
I don't. If you don't like it, don't watch. Like people,
Yeah, well,
I'm
what are you gonna
done
do?
with people
What are you
complaining
gonna
about
do?
Savannah Bananas. Like,
Now, so that's one. The other one I would say is, what are we doing? What are we high? Fighting at State Fair on the last day, but that's a tale as old as time. Lock it up, folks. What on earth are we doing? You were there as everything kind of transpired.
I
late
was
last
there.
night.
Yeah, I was there when they were coming in to people that were
Mhm.
going to fight. Probably were coming in. I was leaving by, I guess 8 o'clock.
I was gonna say you leave at 8, right around what
7:30,
9:15, 9:30 last day. You know some nonsense is about to happen. Come on,
Absolutely.
What are we doing? This is a beautiful culmination of 10 straight days.
I
Let's
know.
finish it out like civilized members of society.
It'd be so easy.
The last one is because there should be no fighting at State Fair. I have been told, yelled at online. There's no fighting in the bleachers. There's no fighting in the bleachers. Well, yesterday, Drew, one fan did not listen. One fan did not listen as PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, launched a home run in the midst of a rather lopsided 11-4 victory for the St. Louis Cardinals. Pete Crow Armstrong, in maybe his MVP year, launched a home run into the right field bleachers where one man rocking a number 7 Lofton Cubs jersey became the devil of the day as he gives a right arm shiver to this young lady in the bleachers trying to find the baseball, trying to gather this home run from Pete Crow Armstrong in the midst of an MVP year. That ball could be worth tens of dollars.
Tens. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe even $100 if autographed. This man took matters into his own hands, tossed this girl to the side. Now it's about a 1.6 second video, and this guy has been getting lamb-basted all over. I know you're surprised. The doxing has happened. People are trying to find where this guy works, who he is, where he's at. More importantly, there's no fighting in the bleachers, people.
Nope.
No baseball is worth it. Somebody pick it up, raise it up to the skies. Let's all give a round of applause and get ready for the next batter. Come on. You're getting gassed 11-4. Nobody needs that baseball.
Nobody needs it that bad. Unbelievable. Well, believable.
I was going to say very believable,
Right.
just ridiculous and hilarious. And I like when it's a Cub fan because then we can make fun of him.
Happyplacehemp.com. Use the code HUDDLE, 25% off and free shipping every time you go to the well. Man, this was a quick Monday. Brewers winning. Brewers off today. We're back at it again tomorrow. We'll be doing some buying and selling, hanging out, and Billy will be getting ready for Training Camp Live. See you at 5 a.m.
Peace.